one.
Is Seagull making a tier list? Who is this?
Just barely.
Not really. It's kind of like
my
the.
Discord bigger than my other.
We're all
Bro,
here
what
to
are you
argue. I'm just here to argue and laugh.
Or to make the season 3 tier list a week in.
Yeah, one weekend when we're all clueless and have no idea what's happening. But I'm ready to
Exactly.
argue about it.
All right, so here we have the season 3, 1 week into the season tier list where we don't know what this is gonna be.
What do you mean? Where this is going to be very accurate, okay? Extremely accurate. We know exactly what the meta is going to be.
Yep.
We are about to set the meta. This is a big responsibility.
Well, until OWL's out, but keep in mind about this tier list too. This tier list, the question was, is it going to be like top 500 tier list? Is it going to be like, bronze, silver? And the answer to that is yes. Because
Oh, okay. Yeah,
overall,
okay, makes sense.
yeah.
it's
So
just going to be, yeah.
we're doing an overall. So what would we consider overall? Like,
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
think
understand what you're saying.
in my head, the lowest rank I've seen this season is Masters, because that's where my support account is. So I think anything that would work at that MMR probably works at everywhere, right?
Yeah, fair.
Because that's also where Sojourn was underperforming, so I think it makes sense, to start with
Sojourn
that.
work in Master.
I don't remember, but okay.
All right, so who's up first?
You know what? Here, we're just going to do this. I'm going to start with Ramatra. Ramatra is an interesting hero this season because last season we saw Ramatra was going to be the dominant hero for a while at the end of the season. And then the changes happened, and now we're seeing less Ramatra being played. But where does I put Ramatra on the tier list, especially with the alt change?
The alt change is actually so big. I used to have alt every fight. Now I don't, and it's a lot scarier.
Yeah. I don't know. I know Ramatra is an S tier right now, like last season. Definitely not.
How do you feel about A? I think he's solid.
I think Ramatra's probably an A tier. Yeah. That or B tier.
Yeah,
I'm with you on that.
I was thinking either high B or just A. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like normal B though.
Yeah, I would say A then.
So I'm just gonna
down to
round
put
it up.
Ramatra in A
Round
tier.
it up.
So wait, hang on. I gotta know then. Why do you think B? I think B is a little low for Ramatra. No.
I think it's just because of some of the team comps right now. If Ball is as good as Ball is right now, and I don't know how Ball's being played across all ranks, what ends up happening is on Ramatra, you find yourself using Nemesis form just to try to catch up to somebody in time to make a play. That's what you're doing. So
True.
I was putting him in B because I think Ramatra is really dependent on, he has to block a lot to have survivability, and Discord really owns Ramatra, it feels like, harder than other tanks. Because when he's blocking, he just gets blown up through block.
Yes.
which is true. Yep. On top of that, Cassidy is this is something about like with Cassidy is when Cass flashes somebody, or sorry, magnetic grenade somebody,
The missile.
that damage is not blocked.
No,
either,
it is not
either.
blocked.
So with Cassidy being played more, that lose a little bit. That will lose a bit of value too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. I'm going with A tier. I moved Ramatra up to the A tier. That's it.
I don't have him unlocked, so I'm gonna keep him in the pool.
True.
Yeah.
The best part is, wait, are you even joking, Marble? Do you not actually have Ramatra unlocked?
I don't have Ramatra, no. I've wanted to pick him several times in rank. I just couldn't.
That's tough.
What about the challenges? Have you done the challenges?
The challenge. You have to win 34 games.
That's
That'll
a
take
lot.
3 years.
Marble doesn't grind that much. It's tough.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No, it's because I lose.
Oh, that's even hard.
I do grind.
Oh, no.
We were just playing quick play, and we could have stacked and had you play and tank the whole time.
Oh, does it count in quick play?
Does it not?
I think
it does. Yeah, it should.
Let me look.
I have no idea.
Oh, it does. Oh, I'm actually close to getting it. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Well, soon you have to
I
add him to
can
your
rate
list.
Ramatra next season.
Today I learned.
So this next hero we have on this list here is a hero that I actually don't think is D tier, but some people might think is Roadhog. I don't think. I just Roadhog.
I was gonna say I can't see what your thing is, so you can't be
Yep.
that vague,
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go Roadhog.
So wait, you think Roadhog's D tier?
No,
or
no, I don't.
not D.
I saw some people saying Roadhog was D tier earlier, and I was like, I don't think Hog is not as good as Hog was last season, but I don't think Hog's D tier.
What do you think he is?
Probably C tier now.
I at minimum, yeah. Actually, I agree with you on that. I actually think Hog's not that bad at all.
Yeah, Hog's okay.
With
I only
Brig
have to
Zen?
pick him against the ball. That's it.
Yeah, if people run ball Brig Zen and your team is you're running Brig Zen and you're not a ball player, Hog's actually a pretty decent option.
Hog's ultimate, by the way, is like
Hilarious.
when that Hog starts ulting, you go to like the stopwatch. You're just like, how long is this gonna take here? Like what?
It lasts forever now.
Yeah.
Can't fully cancel it anymore.
So how do we feel about that with Hog?
Transformative ult.
See,
You know,
See?
exactly. Yeah, it's a good ultimate now. Well, it's been a good ult.
low key. God, okay. Low key, I actually think he's like a little bit better than C. I think he's actually like B, like low B.
Okay.
Personally, but I'm okay with C just because it really does depend. It really does depend. Like if you actually bump into like the good hog players, you're like, wow, this character got nerfed. Like what? You know? But I don't know. I feel like for example, right? Have you seen less Sojourn this season? I feel like I've seen less Sojourn this season, but I think Sojourn's still extremely good. I think that just like a combination of factors, people just aren't picking her right now. I think Hog's kind of similar. I think he's actually low key strong. Like not, I wouldn't say like strong compared to some other picks, but I think he's like low key pretty good.
Hear me out on this though with the Sojourn like discussion. Keep in mind, matchmaking had a much wider range. So like, if you're getting, say for example, they just said that you're getting plats in your games, and like in a lot
we had
of
gold players,
exactly. Sojourn wasn't going to be played that much to begin with. I'm not saying that I'm seeing Sojourn every game still, but like it's been kind of in a situation where we're not getting like the 15-minute queues into like pocketed Sojourn comps. Not that Sojourn is being played, but
the other part of it too is people just want to play Cass because he's fun.
Yeah,
and they didn't really have an opportunity to play him that much in the previous seasons, and now he's kind of good. And he has that mid range, and you're like, yeah, I have an excuse to play this character, and he's always like a favorite.
Yep. Another thing too about Hog, like keep in mind we do this sometimes with tier lists. You know how like we'll talk about like, well, will you put this hero on the same tier as what a B tier hero would be?
And we come back. We'll come back later. I think.
Right,
so we'll leave it at C for now.
Yeah, we'll put Hog in C tier, and then we'll see kind of towards the end of the tanks. All right, cool.
Yep.
I see what you did there.
Next hero I have is Diva.
Ooh.
Let's someone else lead with this one. Seagull, what do you think? I want to know what your thoughts on Diva are.
A tier.
Yep. Okay, I agree.
Agreed.
Yep.
Pretty good. Not super insanely meta or anything, but I think that she has a lot of good matchups versus a lot of the tanks this season that happen to be really good. So I don't, and there's a lot of, it's always very funny to play Diva into Cass and stuff because it's like, it's one of the few things. And also when you think about lower ranked players too, if Cass and Soldier 76 get buffed and they're both being picked a lot, Diva's never that bad against those two, so I can't imagine her being B tier. She's just okay. She's pretty good.
Yeah. I went into the season thinking that Diva would be B tier. The more I've played this season, I think Diva actually is pretty good A tier.
I think we talked about that. I thought Diva was getting slept on this season already, and we talked about that a little bit.
Yep, I thought Diva would be, but the more I play Diva, like I'm just not good at balls. So
Same.
So it's like Diva's been a hero I can go. There's another hero like that too. We'll talk about that later. Next hero I have here is the recently nerfed Orisa. Or reverted changes.
I don't know where I put her.
Not S tier.
Definitely not S tier, but I don't know where to put her because she's.
I don't think she's that
I don't
good.
know. She's just weird because it feels like playing Orisa into dive, you're just kind of AFK a lot of the time. So I don't know where she fits, and I haven't actually seen any Orisas.
I'm gonna be real. I think Orisa's like Hog C. I don't think she's good. I actually don't think she's unironically any good. She has one niche and she can bully Reinhardt's. That's it. That's her only niche. And the only reason she can bully Rein is just because like she's so tanky up close. It's the only place where her fall off doesn't matter. Like, is that close to a Rein? Like the reverting like nerf or the buff she got for her range, that was it. Like that was the nail in the coffin. Like I think that the fortify nerf that she got before was good. But now she can't fight anything. It's too far. You can't finish any spears. Yeah. You're not really that threatening. You just exist. You just stand there and you're just a wall. But you're a wall that can't hit back.
Yeah, she doesn't have the same kill pressure she used to be. If you get hit by a spear mid range, you were just dead. To just the Orisa. Now unless you're discorded, you're probably just gonna take it.
Yeah.
From my experience, I think I'd put more Orisa in B tier.
I also think it's B tier. Yeah.
I'm leaning to B.
I also lean B.
And the reason being too is like, keep in mind, we're not going to necessarily go like fully what we're seeing like in top 500 games with that. And like, I think Orisa is just one of those tanks that's still being played quite a bit and can still be really good. Like I'm actually still picking Orisa on like some Koth maps and just playing just fine on Orisa. Because like the cooldowns that exist still exist. Like the javelin spin and the spear alone, especially I don't know if you've ever like tested out the spear hitbox. But like,
it
is huge.
I think the radius of it is double that of sleep dart.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So like, I feel like Orissa's just like in ranked in general is probably around like B tier right now. It's kind of where Orisa was to begin with before they started really buffing Orisa.
Well, yeah, she's exactly where she was, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going with B tier.
I also agree with B tier.
I respect the B tier, but it's the same. I think it's like the same thing. I don't think Hog is bad. I think he's like actually low key good. I think Orisa's overhyped and is good in certain situations. So I'm sticking to my C.
Okay, that's
Fair
fine.
enough.
That's the cool thing about us having the separate tier list now too. Is
Yes.
we actually put that. Yeah.
The other thing about this too is, and the reason I put Orisa in B tier was also what Emon was saying a little bit. Like dive isn't as prevalent for your average player, so Orisa's probably just back up there of being like, yeah, you are the wall, but also people don't punish you, so you're basically invulnerable to most of the player base.
Yeah. Next hero, we're gonna have Flatsy with this one. Winston.
Oh,
Winston Wednesday.
Winston's
thinking
a hard one.
I'm thinking up here.
Actually pretty good.
Oh, I think he is pretty good.
Like Doom and Ball just seem better. Like if you're really
I know
good
that's
Doom
a
player,
problem.
I feel like Doom's better, and the Ball player is just a better Winston. So like I'm leaning more towards B.
Yeah, I can see B.
And there's one other thing too that is
It's one of these.
The Mercy buffs and nerfs really hurt Winston. You can't kill anything now if the Mercy gets on them. Like the 50% healing, they're under half health, out heals your damage. And the same thing is with Primal. If they Valk somebody that you're primaling, it's impossible. If you hit every single combo, you still can't kill them. It's just the 90 healing per second, it just doesn't work. So I think the extra burst of like Diva, Doom, Ball is better than Winston, but still very solid.
Yeah, I was gonna probably put Winston in B tier, but it's also because I have another hero that's probably gonna go in C tier, and it would just make sense if Winston was above that tier anyway.
Yeah, I think Winston's in this weird spot where it feels like if I'm gonna pick Winston, like you said, I'd rather pick Doom or Ball if I was good at Doom or Ball, and if not, then a lot of the other things that I see on ladder right now are a lot of cast soldier, just double hit scan of just cast basically every other game, if not every game, and so. It's a little weird playing. It just feels like, kind of what you said. Why would I play Monkey, who has like the obvious counter in Diva, if I could just play Ball, who just got buffed, and the ult is better and guaranteed kill with more burst damage? So, yeah, I put him probably B. You could argue A, but I think B is probably safer for your average player.
Yeah, I think B is probably a good spot. And if you look at where we have with the tier list now, where Diva's at, it like makes sense because I think I don't know. I love the Diva versus Winston matchup. It is such a strong matchup. Like you just
Diva eats them up.
Yeah, exactly. So like I think it's a good spot to have Winston in at B tier. Next hero is Zarya. It's a tough one because I said earlier I don't think there's any D tier tanks right now. That was my take. And like I feel like Zarya is still like a decent hero. It's just Zarya doesn't play that much.
Ryan's better now, up close.
No, Ryan is good, but I think Ryan's going to be higher up on the tier list, right? Like I think Ryan's
right now she does
good.
not accomplish anything that others can't do better.
Yeah,
she was technically just nerfed.
What was the nerf again?
Didn't they nerf how long it takes you to build Grav? Takes longer now.
Yes,
they did actually.
They did actually. I didn't even think about that, which is interesting, by the way, because like there's so much in the game that counters Grav now in comparison. But like,
I
don't know.
So I've had this theory ever since Overwatch 2 launched, is that Reinhardt and Zarya cannot be good at the same time. There will always be one that is just strictly way better. And when the game launched, it was Zarya. And now it's Ryan. Ryan is just better at bullying up close than Zarya is. I still think you can make Zarya work, but I'm with you on that. I think C tier Zarya.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I think C tier.
Did you guys notice there's quite a few Zaryas in high-ranked Asia ladder?
I did not.
I actually did not see
there's
that.
There's like two in top 20.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
And so I do wonder if there's like a niche use case for Zarya where like if you're really good at peeling with bubbles. But it's like, even still, why would I not just play Diva at that point? And it's kind of like, I don't fully understand where it's coming from. So it could just be, it's an early season thing, plus the matchmaking thing makes everything a little wonky. So I just have to wait and give it some time. But yeah, I also I just don't see her. And every time I do see a Zarya, even if she's fully charged, it doesn't feel like she can very easily get to you or do anything versus a lot of the casts. So,
what?
I mean, if you,
what are they playing? What is the number one? Is it Ball? Is it Winston?
I actually think D.Va was rank 1. Yeah,
really?
They have
Okay.
a lot
was
of
rank
it's,
1. Yeah,
it's
So
D.Va.
wouldn't that make sense? Zarya versus D.Va?
Yeah, I could see that. You're right.
Yeah.
If they have a lot of D.Va players and they love playing D.Va, then Zarya is the pocket pick to try and stop them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That makes sense.
I think Zarya C tier.
In that case, though, say C tier. Yeah.
With you.
I'm happy with
I
that
agree
one. Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, it's been interesting because last season, or like even the season before, there was always like a D tier hero, or even like a hero that was not that good as tank. I think this is the first season we might not have anybody in D tier, at least in my opinion. Next hero is Wrecking Ball. I mean, S tier.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is funny because last season a lot of tier lists had Wrecking Ball at D tier, and now
No.
Wrecking Ball is all the way up to S tier within one patch.
I said it. I said if you buff Ball, it's gonna be a shit show.
Yeah,
I'll put him up there, but it's I do think the main reason I put him up there at S tier is just because of I think he's always been pretty good. My main problem was I don't like Minefield being buffed, and I think that gives him the edge over the other. Like when I think of a diving tank, nothing seems as powerful and spooky now as buff Minefield versus like if I hear a Doom ult, I'm probably gonna live. If I hear like a Primal, I laugh and he dies. You know, like what? Like it's so, but a Minefield, like a Hammond has Minefield, I am screwed.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen really good Wrecking Balls too. The question is in all ranks is Wrecking Ball dominated? I'm actually curious on that one. I still think Wrecking Ball's S tier, but
I think Ryan's probably dominating bronze to diamond.
I think that too. I think Ryan would be for your average player, just the value from Shield, and considering Wrecking Ball does need a little bit more setup and routes and everything like that. If we were talking strictly Masters and lower, I think Ball is probably A tier, and then Ryan I would actually put as S tier if you wanted to talk about like straight up lower ranks or like your average player.
Yeah. This will end up being the all over the place tier list.
Yeah.
Like it's just gonna be Wrecking Ball to me, like my experience is S tier. It's I always say like if you're really good at Wrecking Ball, you're gonna know someone's really good at Wrecking Ball right now.
Yes.
Like you're not gonna be able to
win the game by themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah. I'm gonna stay with S tier. I mean, I definitely can see what you're saying too with like in certain ranks would not be necessarily S tier until people get better at Ball, which could happen.
The only thing I could be willing to do is have no S tier tanks. Because like seriously, I actually think almost all the tanks are viable, either all the time or at least some situations for some of them. Like this is probably the most it's felt balanced, except Ball is a little cut above in top 500 at least, like really high rank.
I think good Dooms are still absurdly good too.
And that'll be Doom's going to be an interesting discussion because I've seen a lot of Doom and I'm seeing Doom be played well, and it's been
like, do it now.
You know, why not? We just did Wrecking Ball, and let's do Doomfist next. Where do you put Doomfist? Because just to start off with this, Doomfist actually, believe it or not, is like on the ladder quite a bit right now. Wrecking Ball's starting to overtake a bit, but I'm noticing a lot more Doomfist. But I don't know where I'd put Doom.
I think Doom has it's insane carry potential if you're good at him.
Yep.
I'm thinking low A, but I don't play him personally. I only play against him.
If you bump into the good Doom players, it's just like, well, I don't know what to do here.
I mean,
no Sigma.
My gut says if because Doom is such a wide skill range, because we're trying to put this towards everyone. I'll put him at like A, or even you could argue B for your average player. But if we're talking like top 100, I would put him next to Ball.
Okay. So we're thinking more A or B tier here then? Because
I'm doing A.
Like,
I'm gonna do A personally.
I'm an A.
Yeah, I'm fine with A tier. I'm totally fine with A tier. All right. That was easy. Okay, next tank, Sigma. I'll start with Sigma here. I still to this day think Sigma is the most balanced tank right now.
Agreed.
Yep.
I just Sigma is one of those heroes that you can beat Sigma. Sigma can also play really well against
Definitely
you. Sigma just recently got a nerf to the ult charge too, and I still think Sigma is one of the more balanced tanks, and that's why I would just put Sigma in A tier.
It's funny. Is he the most unchanged tank from Overwatch 1? He's almost the exact
Pretty
same,
much.
isn't he?
The game
Yeah,
back
yeah,
is
just a little
like
bit of
rock, I
HP.
think. The game back
Yeah,
is
and
rock
rock
combo
damage.
damage, so that we could one tap you if you came around the corner and punish you a little bit, which makes
Right.
sense because they dropped to 1, and then I think they nerfed the shield a little bit, and that's it.
I think Sigma is just the most balanced tank in the game right now. A tier. Just that's where I'm at. That's where I put Sigma, A tier. That's pretty much, yeah. I'm confident when I'm putting Sigma there right now with A tier.
I want to ask you something.
Yep, I'm listening.
Do you think Sigma could slip into S? Because I think has maps where he's a must pick, like Havana and Circuit Royale. Basically a must pick, unless you're really good at ball, which is, if we're put ball in S tier for being really, really good, I feel like Sigma can have that conversation, even Junkertown, and especially in this map pool, right? Like this map pool favors Sigma a lot, like for those sniper maps, but he also is kind of playable almost everywhere. It won't be the most optimal pick, right? Like on certain maps, like maybe ball is better, or certain maps maybe, I don't know, Diva's better, but you can play Sigma pretty much everywhere. And then he's strong, like almost must pick on some maps. Would that be enough to put him in S tier?
Well, I mean, that it's very map based, right? And that goes for
too
some
map-based.
heroes too, where like there's some heroes where if you get a certain map, like absolutely S tier on, right? Even if it's not even full meta. What I will say about Sigma is that, at least my experience, and I've been winning a ton on Sigma this season and even last season. If I get into like a situation where I go up against like a really good ball player, what ends up happening is I spend more time putting my shield forward trying to do damage while they all they're just too far away, even on sniper maps. In Overwatch 1, those maps are really strong for Sigma, right? Overwatch 2, very strong still, but like if they're far away, you don't even. I'm watching Wrecking Balls on Junkertown dominate right now because they just go into your backline. You can't do anything. Even it's just like you're like, hello, all right, bye.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that. So yeah, I mean, there's I think there'll be a time where Sigma moves up into that S tier eventually with nerfs. And it could be sooner than later, but I think I'm still pretty confident with A tier. There's just some maps or some team comps you go against where you're just kind of like, eh. But overall, yeah, Sigma's a great hero. Just one of the strongest tanks. Yep.
It's also really interesting to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was saying I just wanted to see what you wanted to say.
Oh, okay. I was saying it's interesting to talk about Sigma because what you said of like you can't catch anyone a lot of the time on these maps because they're so big. It is. I don't know. I haven't played that much tank this season, but like if I do end up playing versus a ball team and they're on something like ball tracer and all this other stuff, like what am I? I'm sitting there on cart and it's like, what am I doing right now?
Yeah, I go Diva
I don't know.
Peel.
Yeah, I go Diva or Peel or yeah, exactly. It's something like that, and it feels a lot more normal.
Mm-hmm. It's the only thing I've done so far in ranked is if a ball's dominating, the only thing that's worked for me because if I'm not able to go ball, I just go Diva and Peel and just hope that that's enough to like help win the team fight.
Maybe you could like do the Moira flank, but a Sigma, they can't hear you.
I've tried it before. It's good until Widow. You hear that voice line from Widow.
Oh no.
Yeah. Next hero's Reinhardt. What do you got, Flats?
I'd throw him in the A category. If it was overall like tier list for everything, like no top 500, like just like general player base, easy S.
Yeah, I agree.
But in high level play, like first off, I think about the map pool. There's a lot of maps that Ryan's not good on that's in rotation right now, like Havana, Circuit Royale, even some in a lot of ways, Junkertown, like, you know, those maps, it's hard to get there, you know, like you basically just end up pinning around the map, which is kind of fun, but also kind of annoying. Okay. But also, you know, like you were just saying, when you play against the good ball players or even the Doom players, right? Like they just go in and kill your backline. Yeah, you're still alive, but you can't go do anything. You're screwed. So I can't say that Ryan is S tier when ball can basically shut down your whole team and make it so like even though you could do a lot, you can't because everybody's dying and you can't help with peel. Like, what are you gonna pin the slam? Like, yeah, I mean, sure, it's a good theory, but it's not consistent. It's going to be hard to do more than once if you're lucky, you know? So because he doesn't have like the pick everywhere and there's also not great maps for him, I'd say he's strong, but not S tier. So I give it an A.
Yeah, this
Seagull?
This ends up being one of the things where I need to really define exactly who my tier list is for. Because if I'm thinking of like an average Masters player, Ryan is S, I think. Or like Masters are lower, I think Ryan is S.
Remember that guy the other day we played with when we were playing, and he was like, "Oh, I one tricked Ryan to here, and now it doesn't work anymore because you play against players that know what they're doing." Yeah, that guy was Masters, right? So
I think he was.
I think it's about the barrier. I think that's about where it, like, you start to run into a wall.
I think he could be even insane. I mean, he is still really good. Like, I'm never going to be pissed if I have a Ryan on my team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I will say you first.
Well, I was just gonna say, I think like that is like, just keep in mind with this tier list, it's gonna be all over the place because what's gonna end up happening is if we try to go based off of just like only top 500, Briggs then will be in like S tier or something. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind, Flats, when we're talking about the tier list. If you think like Ryan is dominant and like bronze, silver, gold, plat, like diamond, you can put Ryan in S tier. That's totally fine. You don't have to purely go off of that either.
No, but I like it this way. I like the hybrid. Okay. I like being able to do both because
that's fine.
Yeah, I just round it.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, round it.
High A to meet in the middle. Because Flats is right. If you play Ryan against Ball, Doom, and even in my opinion, Ramatra, it's a pretty tough matchup. But against everyone else, I love playing Reinhardt.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna go with A tier too. I think S tier could be argued for certain like things like you said, like certain ranks, but I think A tier is a good place to put Ryan.
Yep.
Like overall. So believe it or not, it's you see our tier list right now? This is a lot of
It's really balanced. And A to A to the other ones is not that far off either.
Yep, exactly. Which goes to our last tank we have on the list here, which one of my favorite tanks to play, Junker Queen.
Do you want to start us off first? You play a lot of Junker Queen.
Yeah, you do. You start it. B
tier. Yeah.
That's
Easy.
where I put it too.
Easy.
Yep.
Easy B tier. Junker Queen's better now. Junker Queen is fun to play with the Carnage change. Roadhog can't dominate you as much, and honestly, every time I go up against Zarya, automatically I can't put Junker Queen in C tier because of that. I like both those matchups, even though Zarya technically can counter Junker Queen's like ultimate and stuff. Getting the bubbles out is so much easier. I think Junker Queen is just, and we're starting to see more Junker Queen players. I think B tier is a great spot for Junker Queen.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like. I look at A tier and there's some matchups there that you can do okay against. Like for example, like we talked about Reinhardt. Playing against Reinhardt as Junker Queen's okay. Not the best, not the worst, but. I think B tier is a good spot to put Junker Queen, which then the only argument we'll see from this is, well, how can you have Orisa and Junker Queen in the same tier? I'm going against Orisa a bit more now as Junker Queen, and I think Junker Queen still plays better than last season against Orisa. So.
I don't have this problem because Orisa's in C tier.
There you go. Fair enough.
Yeah.
True.
But
I mean, just because one hero is good versus another hero doesn't necessarily mean that they can't be on the same tier list.
Well, I mean, I think Junker Queen Junker Queen isn't as bad against Orisa as last season. And just because of how the game's playing right now.
I feel like Junker Queen in a lot of situations isn't actually that bad. Like she actually feels more versatile to me than Orisa does sometimes.
Yeah. Junker Queen's I think I think is a great hero right now. I'm going with B tier.
Yeah, fair. I agree.
Yeah.
Are we also going to sort inside each tier as well?
What do you mean?
I've been doing that.
You have been?
High B,
high A, low A, yeah.
Oh yeah, that would you know what? I'm just gonna stick with this for now. You can do that though. I have seen people do that.
Oh god,
I'm too deep right now in this one.
Yeah, you're too deep.
We're deep.
Yeah, I'm too deep. I already forgot what we talked about 6 heroes ago. I don't know.
Something like this,
really
maybe.
Tanks. I'm just agreeing with you guys.
Yeah, I get
Junker Queen here,
and then I ask if they have slam. So like I'm sticking with this.
I'm not going to go in.
I think that's a defense mechanism to like.
It's tough to go inside a tier and argue it. It's actually tough.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I'm noticing is like this is the first season of Overwatch where I feel like we have a much more balanced tank roster. Because even like if we were to say, here's the one discussion before we go on to DPS, would you compare Wrecking Ball right now to really, really, really good Roadhog? Or really, really, really good Zarya from the beginning season?
No, because he's too skill based.
So that's exactly. So it's like, I feel like at this point, it's probably the most balanced we've seen tanks for now. Which is cool to see.
This is my gut feeling, by the way, on balancing within a tier. But we'll see. It's not. I did it really fast, but
DPS now. You ready for DPS?
This one's tough too.
That was fun.
That was a very fun one.
A few hours.
Yeah. Oh, these are great. I love this.
We got time.
I move all the tanks to the end. Tanks are done.
Next hero I have at the beginning of my list here is Soldier 76. Seagull and I kind of talked about this earlier. What do you think, Flats? Because we have a general idea of where we put Soldier, but what do you think?
I think he's like good. I think he's good, but I don't think he's top tier. But like, you can never go wrong with the soldier pick. The soldier pick is always like good. You know, like you're gonna be pumping out damage. A lot of characters you can pepper down. I'd say at least a solid B. Maybe
B in top 500.
I think a lot of the hit scans are good this season. So
A everywhere else.
Say A, but I would definitely say at least B. Do I want to go to A?
He's thinking.
Might want to change that later, but I'm gonna say A for now, and I'll change it later to B if I need to.
All right. I have soldier in B tier. I'm in B tier.
I think for masters or lower, he's A, and otherwise, I think in top 500, he kind of starts to really fall apart versus good dives because he's very easy to kill, lacks burst damage, no easy survivability, stuff like that.
Tough against Doom.
Yes, very tough against Doom, pretty tough against Ball too. And so because of that, it's probably safer for me to put him in B tier rather than A tier, but I think if for the rest of the player base, I think it's A. So I'll probably just round down to B. Just call it good. But I think it's in between for me.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, fair. The ball tracer, ball Farah dive just destroys soldier. Just gone.
Oh yeah. That's been my experience too. He's just like, you spend once again with soldier more time sprinting than shooting. You just can't.
He's good against everything else though. He's good against Hog. He's good against Rissa. I would say like pretty decent with Zarya. Good against Jogger Queen. Pretty decent. Maybe good even against Winston. Sigma like okay. Diva not great, but like it's something. Ramatra good. Even against Ryan's like not terrible. It's not great, you know. So
yeah, on the right track. I think that's fine. Marbler, what do you got?
I mean, I do think he's well rounded. I was gonna put him low A.
All right.
Ooh, low A.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think it seems
that's
like
fair.
A or B. I go with I just play a bunch of soldier. I'm just like, yeah, B.
I'm gonna bring it down to B and then readjust after we get through further.
There you go.
True.
Because now I'm looking at Cass. I'm looking at Widow. I'm looking at Farah.
Yep.
I'm looking at it's like I might put it back up to A, but I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna
I think
round
Soldier's
down
a good
for now.
comfort pick if you're not into gimmicks in this game.
Yes.
He's big chillin'.
Oh, I love playing soldier. It's my go-to right now. All right, Ash.
Ooh, that's a hard one.
Wow.
A.
A.
A for Ash.
A for Ash.
Well, A with
Mercy's-
Mercy or A alone?
We can just say A for Ash and just go with that. We have no real reason.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, Mercy's being played a lot still.
Yeah.
Coach Gun is at least some decent survivability with the ball slam, like either pushing the ball away or pushing you away.
Yeah.
Obviously, burn damage. It's hit scan. Hit scans are really good right now. I'd say Ash is pretty much always going to be a safe pick, and obviously better with Mercy. So I give it an A.
Slight take I have on this too. I still think Bob is really good as long as you don't send Bob in first.
Yeah,
Like
Bob
you,
is not bad. Bob is a very good ult.
Well, I see what ever see the difference between when somebody sends in Bob like first, like a tank, in comparison to when they send Bob into the middle of the team fight.
Yeah,
It just gets
blow 'em up.
discorded in one shot, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. If you send Bob in with the team, much better than when I see a lot of people send Bob in by themselves. Bob falls over when you do that.
He does.
But I think Ash and A tier is a solid choice.
Yeah. Agreed.
Next hero, we're gonna have to lead with Seagull on this one. Bastion.
B for Bastion.
Gonna go on the list. I wonder where Cassidy is gonna be.
It's hard because I think for your average player, Bastion is scarier than Ash. So if you think about it, Bastion is a character that is a hard noob stomper. Tanks in particular do not know how to play against turret. Your average ball player or Doom player at a low MMR who does not effectively play around Bastion's cooldown gets blown up instantly. And so I feel like for your average player, it's definitely like an A. But then at a high rank, I mean, I think he's better in Soldier. And so I don't think I could put Bastion with B, even though his ult sucks because he's tanky. Like if you dive a Bastion and you play around turret right and everything because of his raw health pool and his damage reduction, I think he's better than Soldier versus Ball Dive. And he's easy.
Bash is better than Soldier. That's
Yes.
an interesting one. I don't necessarily disagree, but never thought about it that way.
His health pool is nice. It means you can't be one shot by Widow.
That's why, yeah.
True.
A lot of sniper maps.
I think I'm not really picking Bastion on those maps, though.
Well, you haven't tried.
Fair.
Yep.
I will say the blowing up ball with the turret form is nice, though. When you get an opportunity.
This one's a tough one for me for Bastion.
Yeah, he is. He's tough.
It's mainly because I play a lot of Diva, you know?
So, yeah. Diva hard eats Bastion.
Exactly. And like, not even just in turret form. If I see a Bastion I just does not have turret form, I just go at Bastion immediately. But Bastion's still good. That's the thing here. It's like I think I was. Oh my god, my brain is falling apart.
Am I convincing Flats?
I might stick with B for Bastion, and I'm only going to do that because that's overall of how I'm thinking with it. But Seagull's not far off with what Seagull was saying either on that.
Yeah, I think Bastion just slightly edges out Soldier in a lot of ways.
I'm convincing them.
He has such a tanky health pool.
Let's go.
Especially with Ball. Like, Bastion can melt Ball in so many scenarios where a Soldier never will.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's very bursty damage in comparison to like the consistent damage now.
He was the first tempo tank, not Ramatra.
True.
Every 8 seconds,
True.
then you're out.
Very true.
This is a tough one because like I don't see enough Bastion, right?
Yeah.
Like I just don't. And I'll see Bastions do really well. And I've seen people actually like the amount of times I've seen like Midtown not going well, and somebody just goes Bastion on Midtown. And it's just like you just take second points randomly. So it's I don't know. I feel like the safe pick is B tier for me.
I agree with you, but I wonder if it is actually A. And Bash is just one of those characters everyone just has like a stigma around, right? Like, oh, like Bastion's a troll character. Like some, like there's not many people like, oh, like go Bastion here, it'd be a good pick, And I almost wonder, it's like, is he underrated? And like people just don't think to pick Bastion because he's such a big hitbox and like slow and tanky, and he's actually low key good.
I think he's absolutely right that no one ever thinks we need a Bastion here, but there are definitely situations where he is invaluable.
So I have done something with tier list before. Now you let me know how you feel about this one.
Uh-oh.
Sometimes I let chat just decide.
Oh.
Okay.
Here's what we're gonna do. If you think Bastion should be in A tier type 1, I'm just gonna do this. I know it's a lot confusing.
A lot of chats.
Type 1. If you think all chats. If you think Bastion should be in B tier type 2.
A for 1, B for 2.
It just said type A or B. I'm just gonna be.
Someone will type C and D, and it gets all confusing.
He's thinking ahead.
Yeah, well, they just type in 3. If you want to type a number for fun, type 3.
I typed a 1 in all of your chats to skew the vote.
Yeah, I've learned nothing on this vote, by the way.
I've learned nothing. Why didn't we make a poll for this?
Because this is fun this way.
Yeah, I'd say, there's a lot of 3s. So.
Yep.
Yeah. It was 50-50, then 3 got added, and it just all fell apart.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I've done the A, B, or C tier thing before. It gets wild. People start typing random letters, and someone types the same letter 8 times in a row and gets timed out for spamming. Like, it just gets wild.
So is it poll time? Are we doing polls?
No, I'm just going to kind of look at it and be like, yeah, it looks like I saw one extra person say 2 there, so I'm going with...
What are you guys counting to 10?
It really is split, though.
Dude, I'm like exactly... This is a Force 50 vote.
Force 50-50. Force 50-50.
Just like Overwatch.
Yep. The gold players are in my game.
Real.
Boon to think of the prime.
I'm going to go A. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going A.
You're going A? Seagull?
I have corrupted the vote. I am A.
Warbler?
I put him in A like an hour ago.
All right. I put him in... You know what? I'm gonna have that one part of the tier list that's either gonna be, you know what? I agree. I'm going B tier.
Do what you want. Yeah, what your heart tells you. Yeah.
Yep. I'm going B tier. And you know what? On to the next hero, Cassidy.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hit scan equals A.
Yeah, I like Cass in A tier. I don't really have like a Cass is good now.
I would actually potentially put him in S.
I was gonna say, don't say a character. Don't say a character. Is there a character in the DPS category that you look at right now and you think S tier DPS?
Hanzo. He can kill you by accident.
Set a character.
True.
I see one hero right now. That
Yeah,
if
there's
they're on
only-
my team.
Yeah. I think
They have 175 HP.
there's on that's hard though, right? Because what you even consider S is so awkward.
Not S in a lot of ranks. Yeah.
Not S in a lot of ranks, but
Yeah,
also not S in a lot of maps. And then we're on the sniper map pool, so I guess we should talk specifically this season. So yeah,
Yeah, it's the season 3. This is the season 3.
Season
Keep in mind, this is the season 3 tier list. So we are
Yeah.
specifically talking about season 3, which is the last map pool season. After this, no more map pools.
Yep.
God,
I think I'm in the A category.
he's A, but he
Yeah, I think Cass is good in A. I think we will see Cass played more, especially if the meta turns into that Briggs and Ball meta. But like I talked about this with Seagull earlier. This is one of the few metas. If it's a Briggs Zen meta, that's not going to be the meta throughout the whole game. Briggs Zen just does not have the healing output and is not played
No, you
correctly.
won't see it.
You know what I mean? It's just not going to be the most played comp. So if we're basing it off of that too.
God,
So
that's
yeah,
a hard
I'm
one.
fine with A tier. Anybody else? What does everybody else have?
I put him in A tier for now.
Okay.
I did
Yep.
A, but below the other hit scan just because of his ult.
Okay.
When the games I'm in, he never gets value from his ult, other than zoning.
Yeah, so we got to go on the 45-second flank and hope that nobody's paying attention.
That's my special.
Yeah, it works so well. Sometimes, half the time. A little bit less than half, but half the time it might work.
Once a day, if you're lucky.
Yeah, possibly. Echo.
Oh,
Tough one here.
B.
All right. Seagull goes with B.
I'd probably agree with B. I think she's actually a little bit better than people think she is. But
She is. She should be.
I wouldn't say she's like insane, especially with all the hit scans running around.
Here's what I've seen from Echoes before. You'll play like Circuit Royale. Echo will dominate like one of the points of that map, and then the next part of the map is dominated by like a double sniper comp. And
Yeah,
I
like
know
the
Circuit
other
Royale's
day.
I know Circuit Royale's like a bad example of that map because it is a double sniper map, but like you get what I'm saying? There are points where Echo dominates.
Yep.
And then there's points where Echo's just so we could be having a different discussion, like say OWL might go with like the Echo route eventually, right? Because Echo is just a good hero, but I'm fine with B tier.
Mhm.
I think B tier is good.
Remember, I like to round down for the average player. So like the insane top 500 echoes and stuff, like that's definitely I think better than characters like Bastion on a lot of maps. But for your average player, I think they're with how powerful Soldier 76 and Cass are because they both just got buffs. I don't feel comfortable putting her in A, but she's still good on a lot of maps.
I agree.
Like, she's
Yep.
she's not bad. She feels okay.
On to our next hero, and we have to. This one has to be. We have to lead with Seagull on this one. Genji.
I would go with B tier.
Really? It's higher than I thought.
Yeah, I mean, at high ranks, he's a little bit harder to play, but for your average player, I think he's. Dude, the devs have always said time and time again, Genji is much better than people think he is statistically. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that it's just very obnoxious to deal with for an average player and like at top 500 and stuff. And we're sitting here talking about, oh yeah, ball, tracer, dive, and stuff like that. But I don't think Genji. No, I don't think he's bad.
So do you think he needs a nerf?
You know, it wouldn't surprise me to see one after last time.
Fair
Well,
enough.
that's
Fair
why
enough.
I did talk about this
It
last
never
time, my last
surprises
team-
me to see one, you know?
I put Genji in C tier last time because if we put Genji any higher, Genji might get nerfed.
True.
So
Sounds
just
like he
out of-
needs one.
Well, that's why you put Genji in C tier because if Genji gets nerfed again, we're going to be down. You know, it's
The problem is,
if you
chat,
put Genji in C
I'm
tier.
kind of
then
thinking
Genji's
about
not gonna get a nerf.
Masters.
Yeah, but he needs a nerf.
That's why I'm putting Genji in C tier because it just if I put Genji in B tier, there's multiple tier lists with B tier Genji. That we're not even going to make it to mid-season patch before Genji's nerfed.
I'm actually with you. I'm actually going to put him in C tier as well.
Plus,
Put him
this
in
is
D.
looking
Not
For
wrong.
adult nerf.
It's hard though because I'm wondering if I should even continue down the in my gut feeling of like, what do I think is good at lower rank? Because I have a strong gut feeling that says like Soldier 76, Cass, Genji, Bastion characters like that are very good for your average player more than anything else. But also in top 500 and stuff, I don't consider him very good. So I don't know.
That's honestly, that's why usually when I'm doing the tier list now, I've learned whatever, I'm going with that one.
You just average it out.
Kind of where I
The
thought.
answer's just yes. The answer is yes.
It's kind of around the area I think this hero's at, and then no matter what, people are gonna be like, what do you mean that hero's played perfectly? It's S tier.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So you just
hit every shot on Widow.
You know what I mean? So Hanzo. Yep.
S.
I don't know.
Yes.
I'm terrible.
Complete mistake. That is always S. That will always be S. If you can kill someone when they're not on your screen, that is S+++.
True.
We got Junkrat up there too.
That's why I love Junkrat.
Yeah.
Junkrat's also up there.
Yeah, I'm terrible at Hanzo, so I'm gonna let everybody else talk about Hanzo here, and then I'm gonna be like, yep.
You act like we're Hanzo connoisseurs.
I mean, you played the mode yesterday.
I am a Hanzo connoisseur, but I let them pick.
So,
Yeah, it was awful.
We gotta let them pick.
yeah, so I think the only Seagull's a good Hanzo. Seagull's a a Hanzo connoisseur sometimes. What do you think?
I've done too many in a row. First pick. I think Flats has to choose now.
All right, you know what? You're right. We have because you do play a lot of DPS. So we've
How did you guess? How did this come back to
You're
me?
right. I saw Flats play Hanzo on quick play today too. So Flats.
I did.
Yep.
I think Hanzo low-key isn't bad. I think it's good when Widow is good. Hanzo being good is actually not like that far behind. Being able to help out with the Sonics and doing some nice damage. Looking at like the tank roster too, Hanzo's pretty good against Ramatra.
He's gonna put him in decent. A. The problem is I don't think Ash is that far off from Hanzo.
But like good against Ryan, being able to burst down his shield, being able to just like storm arrow him down, turn your brain off, just pump some damage into him. I say Hanzo is always going to be I think Hanzo's a solid pick. I'm going to give him an A.
Okay.
Oh God, dude, I don't know. It's a
one
tough one. He's a tough one.
I don't know. This is where I really don't. I'm terrible at Hanzo. I just want to. I know I said it like 4 times. I'm just bad at Hanzo. So I feel like I don't know. B tier seems like the safe pick to me.
That's what I did. I went with B tier because I don't think Hanzo's ultimate is very good. And so when I think of like it's probably the worst DPS ult in the game. Might just be the worst ult in the game, period. And so I think for your high rank sniper stuff, if it ends up being a sniper mirror, Hanzo is A tier. But then if it's dive, Hanzo is garbage. Like if you go against Ball Tracer and you're a Hanzo, you're just dead. And so because of that, I don't feel comfortable putting him in A because I feel like A characters I want to be a little more consistent. So I put my in B.
Okay.
Seagull, did you forget about Pharah's ult by any chance?
I think Pharah ult is
DPS ult.
Okay. I think Pharah ult is better than Hanzo Dragon.
Really?
Yeah, but I think by a lot. Yeah, it's not even close.
You can trade more often.
Yes. It's like a guaranteed, they have a really big button coming up and you're a Pharah, so you trade. And it's like, I'm going to delete you. Hanzo Dragon is just like a cosmetic ult. It's just cool. And now it plays music. And it like gives you a team morale boost because you hear the Valentine's Day music. That's it.
What about High Noon? You think Dragon's worse than High Noon?
Oh, yeah. I am close.
Yeah.
High Noon is not terrible.
My High Noon doesn't even work.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a skill issue at that point.
I have a clip of a Mercy sitting right in front of me, and I pulled, and nothing happened. She just flew away.
Yeah, well, I mean, you just got to learn to aim during the High Noon.
Yeah.
I made a new tier above S for Hanzo.
Okay, that helps.
For
yeah,
me. Everyone is allowed one hot take in Overwatch. Mine is always that Hanzo's insane. He can kill you by accident. His left shift is Widowmaker's ult. On a cooldown, he can press E and do Bastion levels of DPS. And he has a decent zoning ult.
Oh, God.
Well, this is a perfect segue into the next hero, Junkrat.
Still very good.
nerfed pretty hard. I don't think it's nearly as good as it was before.
It's hard. Junkrat's so hard. I don't know where to put him.
But every time I run into a Junkrat, he's had a Mercy blue beam.
I mean, if you're always pocket with damaging him, the nerf doesn't really exist because you still do it. You still kill him, but B.
I think B. I wouldn't put him any higher than a B, to be honest.
Yep. That's where I put him.
What do you have Junkrat at?
B tier.
B tier? Okay. No, that seems reasonable. I think
There's
like
so many balance characters.
I think B tier is a safe pick. You'll probably hear say that a few times. This
is hard.
I agree. I had Junkrat at like S tier last season. I thought Junkrat was dominant.
So the reason I took him down from that high is Junkrat used to be a character that had a lot of map control, but Cass got buffed. So now he has the map control and more range than Junkrat, and Junkrat's consistency and his map control got reduced. So like how I look at Junkrat as a character is he walks up the flank and you're supposed to be scared of Junkrat. You're not as scared anymore after the nerf because it's a lower chance he's going to one-shot you combo. Mm-hmm. And so because of that, I think I'm more scared of Cass than Junkrat. So Junkrat should just be B because Cass is either A or S in my head.
Fair. Agreed.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Next hero is an interesting one for me because
she's a hard one. I don't know where to put her.
The best Widow counter in the game.
No,
true.
This hero can be good for either team.
Very true.
May.
I think she's B tier. I don't think she's bad. I think she's just okay.
May's an interesting spot because I'm actually seeing May be picked sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not. I don't know. May's a tough one for me.
He's always been a very technical DPS. Like, there's a lot of value in the wall, but it's not straightforward for most players. I had a shatter walled off on my own May yesterday, for example.
Tough.
Well, that's the thing with May. You see, May is good for both teams.
Yeah, both teams.
Yep, good for both teams. So I like May because she's tanky. So she's good versus like dive is like a brand new player. If you have no idea what's going on, picking May is a solid okay option, right? The problem is I don't know if she really does that much versus dive. But then for your average player, I don't think she's bad. Like I don't know. She's such a strange character. Even in the previous seasons, I've tried May a lot. And I have no idea where to put her. She's just so hard. Like I'm just lost.
I have played ball against May a bit, and it can be pretty like May's left click slow against ball is very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's where like I'm curious if that puts May in an okay spot this season because if ball is as strong as ball is, like May's okay against that comp.
Yep.
Not like the go-to pick, right? But if we're just talking like purely ranked right now, I don't know. Yeah, May's just a hard one to like. It feels like I'm not going to go with A tier. I don't think I would, but like
no, not A tier. Definitely not.
C?
Yeah, I think B or C. Yeah, but I don't think she's C though because I think for newer players she's a noob stomper. I don't know. It's just my theory is she feels like a noob stomper, and like you said, ball players. There's some weird interactions with the slow where like you can prevent the boop. Right, because he's going just a little bit slower, and then you can kind of prevent him from getting away, but not really because she doesn't have. I think the only thing that really stops ball is hard CC because you have to wait for a new grapple. That's the only thing that's really going to hurt ball like the most.
Yep.
So I don't know. Definitely, just she's there somewhere, and she never feels amazing. She never feels terrible, which to me fits in B.
See what you did there.
Yep.
Let's go with B tier. I'm down.
I'm in B.
Next hero, Pharah. I don't.
Oh God.
Yep.
I think she's A tier, but I don't know because
very hit scan dominant meta.
I know where,
but we're just
Pharah good.
Yeah, I'm saying where is Pharah Mercy right now? We did actually poll chat earlier. We asked if Seagull and I did it, where we asked how much Pharah Mercy's dominated right now, and apparently not as much as we thought.
I think she's always really good though. Like on a lot of maps, she's just really map dependent is the problem. But if she's on a good Pharah map, like she's terrifying. And Mercy did get buffed with her healing rate. So if a Pharah falls below half and she's flying around, she has that, 50% healing. So it's going to be harder to kill the solo pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
God, this is so hard. This is actually
This is
so
a tough
difficult.
Oh, these are tough. Okay, how about this? Where would you put an unpocketed Pharah?
Unpocketed? C.
Yep, there's no pocket.
Low B or high C.
Okay.
I see, probably.
I think she's C. I think an unpocketed Pharah is C. And then with same thing as Echo, by the way. Like an unpocketed Echo, I think just automatically goes down one tier.
Okay, but okay, now Echo versus Pharah unpocketed.
I think they're both pretty similar, actually. I'm not sure. I haven't played enough Echo to know.
Yeah.
I think Echo can perform slightly better than Pharah can without pocket.
If we have Echo in B tier, it's almost like Pharah technically could go C tier, but it could also be in B tier.
I think Pharah, anything below Pharah, like overall, because most of the time you're going to have the pocket, I don't think you can put her below B.
No,
She's going to have the pocket most of the time. Like very few times you play Pharah.
I think the
without
question is she's A or B. And I don't think I can justify her in A with how Hitscans got buffed this season. That's the weird thing. But she's definitely feels better than May, though. And to me, May, I don't know. That's why it's hard.
This is where it gets difficult too.
Because we're gonna have to redo some of these as we keep going, I think.
Yeah, because you could technically move May to C tier now, put Pharah into B tier, and you're like, okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, but then it messes up other ones.
But then you have Junkrat there.
Yeah.
Do you
I should order them
Soldier
within
and
the
May?
tier.
Yep.
Are Soldier and May on the same level to you?
I think Soldier's better than May.
I agree.
And this is where everything starts to really.
Yeah, this is where we get into disaster zone.
This is why you know what? I'm going back. Soldier's going back to A. I'm in.
Oh, dude.
I'm in.
Join the club.
Yep.
All right, I will consider this. All right, I'll put him up there. I'll put him up there.
Okay, you know what?
For top 500 though, Soldier just explodes and he dies instantly. It's like Soldier is A tier outside of top 500. Then you get into top 500, and if it's a hard dive, Soldier is like C.
We didn't say there was perfect logic behind this tier list.
True.
Yeah. All right, Soldier's A tier then. I'll do it. Let's do it.
My tier list is underperforming a bit.
Yep.
I'll put Soldier in A tier. Listen, I play Soldier. This just justifies me playing Soldier and ranked. So I'm not.
Yeah, Soldier S. S for Soldier.
Yeah. Okay, so now where does that put Pharah? Now that we've adjusted Soldier to A tier, are we putting Pharah in B tier? Then what about May?
I'm keeping.
I put May just to the right of Pharah. I'm ordering it within the tier.
Oh, you're ordering within your tier, huh? I like that.
That's kind of smart. I'm gonna. Ooh, that's a toughie.
So wait, which side is which? Is left side plus?
Left side
right
is higher.
Okay.
Oh.
Left side is higher.
Left is
That
better.
might.
Oh God,
we're gonna have to go back.
I don't know if I can
drawing
do
board on
that.
all
I
of
don't know. It's tough.
Listen,
We're deep.
No, I don't think we're going to a 24-hour stream at this point. So I think we're gonna.
That's tough. That's
First
tough.
day it drops, maybe I'd be done.
Yeah.
Oh, is that Pharah?
All right. You know what? I'm just gonna. I'm putting Pharah in B tier, and some people will be like, "Why is Pharah there?" And that's it. I want B tier.
I'm agree with you. I'm gonna put her in B tier as well.
And you're gonna go, "Why do you have Pharah in the same tier as Junkrat? If Farah's good against Junkrat, you know what? Yes. There you go. All right,
Yes.
Reaper. This is a tough one because Reaper. I've seen so many people suggest, "Why don't you go Reaper here?" And the thing is that Reaper dominates.
Yes.
In some ranks. I mean, dominates. And we've seen it in Overwatch 1 where Reaper would get nerfed and we'd be like, what? Because Reaper is so good against tanks. And just in general, that Reaper is like... Let's just look at this list right now without thinking about where Reaper's at in top 500 and where you would put Reaper. Because I'm telling you right now, where we think Reaper would be in top 500 would be way different than where Reaper is in most of the game right now.
Yes, agreed.
It's one of those heroes.
For most people, I think goes in like A, but for us, is probably like C.
Exactly. That's where I'm at with Reaper. And like, that's where this list can get all over the place because Reaper is one of those heroes that it's just there's so much variance in where we put Reaper.
But hear me out on this.
He team wiped us by pressing one button on Numbani.
True. Special move.
Well, it comes from the side, 3 to 4 shots.
Very powerful.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Reaper will always be good at the one thing he's good at, which is tank busting, and it's like
Yeah.
The only thing he's not good against Ball because Ball just leaves, just like pieces out, gone. Now what do you do? You know. But is Reaper objectively a bad pick right now? I don't know. Like, what if they run Ryan and you run Rush against them? Like, you're running Rush v Rush. Reaper's a good pick. If they run Ramacha, running Rush v Rush, Reaper's a good pick. If they run Winston, Reaper's a good pick. Like, I think there's a lot of situations where if you chose to run Reaper, you could probably have some success. Would it be the best pick though? No. So why not a low B?
Yeah, he's also interesting because on a lot of these maps they're big, but teleport audio queue is really low. Like you don't hear Reaper TPs anymore ever. And so it's really fast too. So there's some really weird plays that you can do on a lot of these big maps as Reaper where you can go for cheeky flanks and like stuff like that. So I do think, I mean, if I had to put him as like, if I want my hot take, I'd probably put him at low A, but that's just me rounding it out for how good I think he'd be for your average player, but he's probably just B. Like if I had to, in my gut, I feel like if I saw a Reaper or Junkrat on one team, I wouldn't like, to me, and they're both around the same in my head. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards high B because he has to be better than May.
Oh god, high and low B. I need to still order mine.
I'm ordering mine now just because you went with that. I have to do this.
No, are we ordering them now?
No,
are we ordering?
I'm not going to perfectly order this now, but I'm not doing that. I'm going to go too deep. I'm going to be here all night.
No, that's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. Don't touch it. Don't touch the list. Don't move.
Yep. I moved one. That's it. That's where I'm leaving that at. Sojourn.
Move it back. Move it back.
Sojourn.
I think Sojourn's still really good.
Hey.
A.
A. Yep. I don't really think we have to go deep into that discussion. Sojourn's good.
No longer an S.
Yes.
Put May in C, sure but she doesn't deserve it.
We'll be happy with that because it's been taking a while.
I think May is pretty similar to all these.
I have a question real fast before we move on. What's the chances it's like Overwatch 1, where towards the end, Double Shield was still the best comp, but it wasn't the turn your brain off insta-win comp as it used to be, so most people defaulted to not play it. We've been playing Sojourn for so long that people are just like, other stuff works. Sojourn isn't like you don't just like absolutely sweep the whole lobby every single time. However, though, she's still strong enough that she still can sweep the whole lobby. Is she still potentially an S tier? People just don't want to play her.
I mean, impossibly, but I definitely think we're in a different patch schedule now than we used to be.
She could be.
So, like, metas can shift really fast, way more than before.
You're basically saying that like we're so tired of seeing Sojourn S tier, we're not willing to put her there, even though she's probably still S tier for like high rank players.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Listen, if that means that when people go, hey, we're not gonna play Sojourn.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm putting her in A.
Yeah, I like A tier for this.
It is. Well, I'm just curious. I'm just asking the question.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong about that. I think like I have played with pocketed Sojourns right now, and I'm gonna be honest with you, same result can happen, straight up. But I am seeing that what's happening now is that Sojourn in the previous meta had so much time to be able to get those picks. In this really fast Wrecking Ball Tracer meta that we're seeing sometimes, Sojourn doesn't have as much opportunity to get that same type of space and like make that same play.
Well, Cass can now contest her in so many areas.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a difference to play there.
I mean, I think there's the more important thing that Sojourn can actually just hard explode. Whereas I think Cass is better than Sojourn right now just because of the hard dive stuff. That like the extra 25 is really, really nice when you see Ball Tracer every game.
When Brig and I played against an OWL Brig yesterday, and Cass was almost unkillable. The burst heal.
Oh yeah, that too. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Sombra now. This is an interesting one.
Yeah, this is the next one.
I don't know if I have Sombra in D tier anymore.
No, she's not. She's
I think in this meta too.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I only noticed her excelling against Ball.
Yeah, I think she's good versus Ball. So if it
does that move Sombra up to C tier?
Yes, I think it does. I think I would actually put Sombra in B tier if I could just say like, is she only against Ball? Then it would be like she's good. But I'll just put her. I think she's like below average in general, and also your average player is probably just gonna chain feed with Sombra or just sit in Viz for too long. So I'll put her in C.
What about though? Because I'm sure we're gonna get there in a minute. Widow. Sombra's really good against Widow too. But
it doesn't change anything.
I've noticed, at least in my games, people don't want to pick Sombra.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I think Sombra is probably a lot better than people think, but people don't want to play her.
She has a very different gameplay loop than most damage heroes.
Yeah, she's weird.
Yeah.
I'm not used to her at all.
I'm with you on the B actually. I think she's B tier. I think that if you have someone who's willing to play Sombra and know how to play Sombra, like not just like playing like invisible boop in the backline the entire time, like she can be really good.
I've never seen. We say all these things, and then I go in game, and then I see a Sombra, and they feed, so I put her in C.
I've played with some good Sombras, and it works well. The only reason I'm just gonna I can see both sides of that. I'm just going with C tier because I'm looking at my tier list now. We have a lot of A and B, and I'm just gonna put Sombra in C tier. Just really kind of It's just I'm going with that. I think Sombra's. Sombra EMP combos right now have been really good. I've been really enjoying them, but I'm just going with Sombra and C. Symmetra.
Oh god, that's a hard one. She's so hard to do, dude. She's such a hard character. She's probably my most played DPS, and she's such a hard character. She's better. I think I'll put her in A. Low A.
Here's the thing. I don't play enough Sim. I'm going to go with Seagull's biased take of where Symmetra's at. Oops. Sim is actually still a pretty good hero. I haven't gone with this a bit before, but I think Symmetra is actually pretty underrated. I've won a lot of games with Sims, even on maps where you don't think you should.
I agree.
She has some good shield break, and she cuts through Matrix and Gravitic Flux, but against Ball, I don't get value with her against Ball.
Yeah, I feel like that happens a lot with a lot of heroes now. Just if you're going against Ball, like the value you get, and then it's just like,
Ball just flips the table on every rating.
Yeah, I agree with that. The thing is, though, Sim is very good versus Rhine. You bully Rhine. You're like a better Zarya versus Rhine. And so, because unless the Rhine knows how to like punish you or has a speed boost to catch you, and you have teleport to play and stuff like that, and turrets are hard, and she's kind of map dependent, and she's also can TP onto snipers on a lot of these sniper maps, like defense Junkertown. She's really good. On first point anyway. It's weird. She's a very strange character. I personally can't put her less than A because I think she's better than most of the characters in B for me. And that's my own experience, but I don't know if that would be most of everyone else's experience.
I think Sim is actually really good. I think some maps she's absolutely insane on, and even ones that people don't think about Sim being good on, she is good. Like those sniper maps where you can TP in. It's actually, it depends though. Like it's not traditional Sim. You know, like people think Sim, like, okay, you walk up, you TP your team into point, then you hold point, set up turrets, you know? So it's just like a different play style.
Yep. Yeah, Sims is pretty good. I mean, it's either going to be A or B tier. So I'm completely biased on this one. I was completely biased on it last time. I've played enough games with Seagull on Sim, and I know Flash has too, where you can just win games with Sim. It's just like
you can kind of run around on teams, and it gets very, very funny.
Yeah, I think she is underrated. I'm just thinking about like specifically against Ball.
Yeah, I mean, Ball is definitely not the best matchup. Although technically, if you have really good Sim turrets and Ball doesn't see them, that slows Ball down enough, right?
It does.
Or does it not?
It does slow Ball, yeah.
I guess there's that, maybe, but yeah.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't really consider it like big. The bigger thing is the bigger part is just her ult is actually really nice on a lot of maps to push and to hold.
Yes.
And I consider her ult to be like pretty good.
Didn't it get a nerf?
The what?
Yeah, it did. It builds slower now by like 8% or 10%, I think.
Oh yeah.
SimTP is also great at the start of King of the Hill.
On any map, yeah.
True.
Yep. Yeah, King of the Hill though, especially. Torb?
Oh, Torb's a hard one.
I think Torb's an A.
I know. I think he is
I think
too.
he's really good.
Yep.
Torb's my go-to hero if I'm just not having the best game.
Yeah.
Like straight up. You know what I mean? Like you like
He's the I've mentally snapped hero.
I go with Torb as what do I go here? Oh, I'm going Torb. Like if you don't know where you want to go, you just go Torb. Like that's like the default.
He does really consistent damage. He doesn't die. His turret is very annoying for dive characters, and he just does really good damage.
Yep. I have no problem putting Torb A tier. Yeah, I'm confident with that one.
I'm with you.
I put him above Soldier.
Wow.
Agreed.
Oh,
I'd agree with that.
Makes sense, yeah.
yeah, that's. Oh, I didn't think about the N tier ones in a little
The
bit.
down bad daddy hero.
Yeah, I'm not going down that route.
I think I can. Eventually, I'll do it at the end. I'll give myself like a 5-minute like timer, and I think I can do it.
Well,
I don't know
that's
if
the
this
fun part. Yeah.
I don't know if this is in your guys' games as well. I've been seeing a lot of Tracer Genji duos to the point where it's reminding me a lot of Overwatch 1 dive, and the turret is great against Tracer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see much. I don't see much Genji, but I definitely see a lot of Tracer.
Yep.
I've seen a lot of Tracer Genji
Yeah.
duos. I don't know why.
We'll see where they put her.
They get to have some fun.
Tracer's
think-
actually our next up.
Tracer is our next up, and this is
a debatable one.
this is an interesting discussion because
It's
Tracer
so
is
hard.
She
is the dive. Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
So it's like if you have ball in S tier, I think this is an easy S tier, right?
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I just easy S tier, and we could go across all ranks, and you could be like, well, yeah, Tracer's, Yeah, I just if I'm gonna have ball up in S tier, I'm gonna have Tracer there.
Mhm.
Like, I just like that's I'm going S tier. Which leads us to Widowmaker.
S tier. Yep.
Yep.
Any S
think-
tiers in the chat?
Yeah, from that pool alone,
Just on the
you have
maps.
to put our S tier.
See, remember, this is a season three map list. There's a lot of sniper maps with Ball and Tracer creating as much space now. And don't get me wrong, Ball and Tracer can also counter that. I still put Widow probably in S tier because of that. And I know that there might be an argument of A tier, especially with like the 175 HP. But this is kind of where at least the tier list can get a little bit scuffed because our experience of Ball Tracer and like Widow, right now is just absolute dominant. But maybe in like Silver, Widow isn't hitting 5 headshots.
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean?
But she still applies pressure though, even if you don't hit your shots, because every once in a while you're still gonna hit it, even if you suck at Widow.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with S tier. It could be the hot take for some people, but I'm fine with S tier. Especially with Soldier being played a lot less now.
Mm-hmm.
I put her in S tier, but I definitely think, it's like you said, it's kind of a perception thing, big time, of just how annoying. Because you remember all of the games that she takes over first point, like Junkertown, Havana, Circuit Royale, like half the maps. So
yeah,
is there another character other than maybe Ball that takes over the game like Widow does right now though?
No,
rank dependent.
I don't think so.
But yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, Ball. Yeah, I mean Widow can going up against a good Widow now is tough, especially if you play any other DPS hero on that list. Like if you just Widow just dominates.
Mm-hmm.
The only other times that, by the way, I think that exists where someone really takes over a game and like it doesn't feel like is Pharah and Echo. But it's like a niche thing, and it doesn't happen that often because hit scans got buffed and all this other stuff. But like that would be the other example. Would be Pharah Echo can just win the game if you got 2 DPS 1 tricks and it's like, oh yeah, I got a Reaper and a Mei 1 trick. Unlucky they pick Pharah, yeah.
All right, well, that's all the DPS.
Nice.
Now we got to look at it and be like, are we comfortable with where we put them? Is there anything that sticks out as you guys look at this?
Yeah, I'm still on my Sombra one because I put Sombra B, but I don't put Sombra and Echo in the same category. So I'm like, do I want to drop to C? But I also think Sombra's kind of slept on right now.
If you move Sombra to C tier, look at your tier list and how it looks now aesthetically.
What do you mean?
Do you not have anyone in C?
I have 4 in C tier now.
You have 4 in C? Wait, who are your 4 in C tier?
I have Roadhog, Zarya, Genji, and Sombra. Put Genji there so Genji
I
doesn't get
separated
nerfed.
all of my tier list from tank, DPS, and so on. I emptied mine.
Mine's Hog, Orisa, Zarya, Genji.
Yeah. You guys do yours properly. I'm doing mine separately because I just did it by role.
That's not a bad idea. That's 3 videos.
That works.
Oh, God, I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah, look at that. You just made 3 videos.
Damn.
No, already hecked up.
You're smart.
Yeah, what are we doing? Flats. You're supposed to know that. You run flats, 2 more flats, flats.
Dude,
three,
I did
flats,
2.5 hours of TikTok today. My
What?
brain is mush.
You watched TikTok for 2.5 hours?
Dude, someone came in my chat when our first game of Quick Play and said, "How has Flats been alive for over 4 hours and hasn't won a game yet?" It was like 2 for 2.
That's
It was
awesome.
the first Quick Play game.
That's tough. Been having a rough day.
Yeah. I finished the day 0-0. Tough.
All right,
Yeah,
well,
my tier list with 4 on there is better than 3 at that point.
that's
so
why, by the way, when you guys are saying, "Oh yeah, how do you guys do your in-between tier list in the same tier?" That makes more sense because I'm only comparing DPS.
Yeah, I'm lost at
Yeah,
this point.
and you're comparing cross roll, you can't. That's impossible. That takes 10 years.
This is my scuff tier list. It's fine.
Yep.
Okay, support. Is everybody's tier list clear?
All right,
I'm
wait,
keep
let
mine up
me
here.
think
I'm
about
already
this. Let me think about it. Make
Let's
sure.
look at mine.
Last check for DPS.
Let me look. Echo's good against Junkrat, but I have Echo ahead of Junkrat.
I think it's kind of funny.
Wait, we're doing adjustments? Oh god, I gotta do adjustments.
We're doing
we'll
it
do
last minute adjustments. Is there anything that sticks out? Anything you want to change? To me,
Okay.
the only thing is, I feel like I put May on the same tier as Farah Echo, but May definitely still feels less, but she's not as bad as Sombra, but Sombra is not D. So it's like, I just have her low B and we'll cut it and leave it there. Low B,
I'm
low
making my
B.
adjustments.
Okay,
I'm just
adjusting
committed to the
in
idea
the
of
tier,
having stuff.
adjusting in the tier.
List, so I'm just going with this.
I think
I'm committed to this being a scuffed list.
I can't do the in tier. It's
hold
tough,
on,
dude.
I'm
It's
still
tough.
I'm making my adjustments.
May is a B
No,
minus.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I see.
Is Hanzo supposed to be that high? He's good in double
Oops,
sniper, but I don't think he's
soldier.
amazing. And if it's supposed to be left or not, then like I didn't really. Oh god.
Yep, I'm fine.
Use the whole tier. Hanzo
So,
should be here.
Echo,
Him and Junk are close.
Farah, Reaper, May, sorry. Yeah, I like that. A soldier for my lowest in A.
It's hard to
Yeah,
do
I like that.
middle of tier. It's
Okay.
really hard to do middle of tier. I just don't know how
I
to
think
do
I'm
it.
good.
Yeah, I'm good.
I think I rated Junkrat higher than you guys, just because he has to put in less effort to get value.
I
In my
have him
opinion.
solid middle B.
Same.
I think he's not OP, and I don't think he's bad. He's just balanced. And like him and Reaper, in my head, they're just both pretty good right now. Like they're just okay. They're maybe not insane or good. They're just okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's cracked.
Yeah, agreed.
Oh, I think it's time for support time then.
All right, empty the tier list. Empty the tier list.
We're going to start off with one right away here that is going to be an interesting topic because Zenyatta.
Oh, that's a hard one.
Hmm.
Wait, I'm emptying my tier list. 1 sec.
Oh, 1 second. Time out. Reset. Let us know when you're ready, Seagull.
I'll pause the video.
Yep. Well, he's going to do.
All
He's
right,
doing 3
continue.
videos. So,
I
All right.
think Zen's an A.
Zen is A.
Mhm.
then is A.
I think that Discord Orb still gets so much value. It's
Ah!
okay. You know, people
It's
say
hard.
like Mercy damage boost is broken. People think that
He's
like,
A,
you know,
but-
like this Widow is broken. I actually, unironically, I think Zen Discord is the laziest ability for how much value it gets. You just AFK, put her on the tank, and that tank has a permanent 25% debuff to just getting blown up the rest of the game. And the only counters to it are shielding it off and trying not to get it put on you, or LOSing it. And if you play tank
It's
and you're
hard
trying
because
to
he's
LOS
S at the
entire
highest
game,
rank, but
you're
everywhere else he's like a
basically
B, so it
AFK and
averages
not
A.
doing your job.
Ah,
The fact that Discord is still the same from Overwatch 1, where it originally was made to be able to blow up those tanks in open queue, and then in roll queue, even like it got toned back a little bit, but still was really strong and dominated the last like year of the game. Whenever we get a pure Zen meta, which I even think right now Zen's really good,
it's S.
Discord Orb is the most unfun thing to play against as a tank player, and has
He's
some
going
of the
on his
least amount of
Discord rant.
counterplay.
He's lost it. Ah.
Yeah, 'cause when you think about it, if you have a Discord orb on you, a third of your health bar is effectively erased.
Listen, okay, Flats, we get it. You hate
And-
Discord.
And if we're
He's stun locked. Someone help him. Someone get him out. Someone cleanse slots.
People, people get mad at Mercy's damage boost. Mercy's damage boost only buffs a single character at a time, and she has to choose between healing or doing the damage boost. Discord orb makes sure everyone does 25% more damage to whoever is discorded, and he can keep healing and doing damage at the same time. It's an AFK lazy ability in Overwatch 2. It needs to go.
Okay, but what does that have to do with where Zenyatta goes on the tier list flats?
I think that he's a very solid A pick. When you play with these ball comps, Brig Zen is pretty good. You basically play Brig as like a protector to Zen and make him go from a glass cannon to a fortress. So not only does Zen now have that extra 5 bullets, so he can just keep volleying those 5 orbs downfield and just start blowing people up. But if you play ball, there's actually this weird dance where if you're a ball player, you're scared of Zen because putting the Discord orb on you get chased around by Tracer the entire game and just kind of like slowly die. But at the same time, though, Zen's also susceptible to ball. So ball is good against Zen, and Zen is also good against ball, making Zen actually a pretty good pick right now in those ball comps. And especially if you're trying to keep away from like the Ramatra or Rhine rushes, he's really good. The only thing he suffers against, I would say right now, is Doomfist.
Okay, question. Is there any supports that you think should be an S tier?
Kiriko.
Oh, we're gonna have a debate. All right, well, we'll get there when we get there. I was more interested. I didn't want the actual. I was just like, I was gonna be like that.
You gotta say. Is there any? Don't say a name.
Oh,
That was a rhetorical S tier.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I was curious. All right. So I'll give you my Zen reasoning. It's a little bit, we'll say shorter than yours. I think Zen is S tier at a high rank, but because he's a little bit hard to play, and also for your average gamer, very easy to die and relies on team coordination to stay alive, right? Like your second support has to babysit you. I would put everyone else, he's just probably B. A high rank, probably S. So average about, put him in A.
I'm interested. What you really think he's S tier in like GM plus, like top 500?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is that with the Brig Zen comps, or do you think just overall?
Even because also Mercy Zen is not bad. Ana Zen, also really good versus ball. Like if there's a ball on the enemy team and he's not that good and you have Ana Zen, you just sleep Discord and just one-shot him. That's also pretty good. I would say, yeah, he feels nuts. What do you think, Elon?
Yeah, I think A tier's fine. Yeah, and I actually, if I'm correct on the leaderboard now too, I think isn't Zen like top 3 right now? Like,
I'm down
Zen's
to put him
like,
in S. I'm down.
Yeah, I think it goes down to the argument of like, in all ranks is Zen there yet?
It's always a tough balancing act between talking about your experience and also guessing what everyone else's experience is. For our experience, I definitely think he's S, for at least for me.
See, I put him in A because I thought like I was trying to do some mental math, like take my own trauma away from Zen and like, do a little bit of like, subtraction and be like, okay, I hate playing against Zen. He blows me up, but maybe he's not good against everyone else. So yeah, I'm down to put him in A, but if you wanted to go S, I'm in.
And we'll go A. We'll go A.
I'm gonna go with the safe pick of A right now, and we'll reevaluate after.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Let's do it.
Yep. All right. Well, you know what? Got to hear all the thoughts on Zen Discord orb there. On to Ana.
Oh, Ana. Ana.
Ana's always been excellent.
Ana, yeah.
The only thing really to contest her was Kiriko when Overwatch 2 came out.
This is tough. Chat, are there any bad picks on support?
I'm thinking A tier.
I'm in that.
Support tier list is about to be the hardest of them all, by the way. I don't think
I agree.
this is tough.
Well, the relationship between them is more intimate, I think. Maybe Tank is more, but it's certainly more intimate than DPS.
I don't know much about ranked, but I am a quick play warlord and I am
like in my games, I just see 2 random DPS like chosen at random. Like someone spins a wheel and they pick 2 random DPS.
DPS unquote
so,
hero.
The thing that makes me think like, do you even want to think about putting on an S, right? Is how strong is Ana when Kiriko doesn't exist? And for me personally, I think Ana is one of the most frustrating things to play against right now when you don't have someone that wants to play Kiriko. If you play Ramatra as a good example, and they have an Ana and you don't have a Kiriko, you literally no longer play the video game. It doesn't exist to you. You are actually now a spectator. And the reason for that is with like the staff.
I don't think it's
form,
that
when you're just
extreme,
running
is it?
around. You're not doing a lot of damage. You're basically just poking. Your scary damage comes from Nemesis form, right?
Yes, it is.
When you pop Nemesis form, you don't have
Blocking.
an ability to block anything off. You have block, which sleep just turns off, and then anti, which also turns off your healing for 3.5 seconds. You're gonna get it blown up. You're gonna just explode. Like even Ramatra block for 3.5 seconds. You're eventually gonna die if you're not getting any healing. So
Flats,
it's like,
why do you hate all the supports?
what do you mean? what do you mean? I'm the one who deals with all supports abilities all day long. So, but that's an argument maybe to make it so that Anna's actually really good. Like even like maybe S tier potential, because the reason we want to put her in A tier is because one of her biggest parts of her kit, her anti-nade, is easily turned off by Kiriko Suzu.
Mhm.
So if you think about not having the Suzu as counterplay, does Anna go to S? And I think there's a good argument for that.
This is tough. Supports your list are really, really hard.
Oh, they are.
Because I would actually say the supports are probably the most balanced I've seen them in a really, really long time.
Agreed.
And so because of that, I can't justify putting Anna in S tier personally when Zen feels so strong to me on a personal level.
Mm-hmm. I have Anna in A tier as just as a clarification, but when I have a game where they play Anna and I don't have a Kiriko, she might as well be S plus.
I'm okay with putting Anna in A tier for now.
I'm in.
I went straight to S. I think she has amazing utility, and like Flat said, the only thing that's been challenging her is Kiriko.
She was saying hi.
Mhm.
She was saying hi.
We already know where Flats has Kiriko.
Is that who's next?
No, but we know
that
where
was
Kiriko's
spoiled.
at.
Oh.
That was in the trailer.
It was in the trailer. Too many spoilers in that trailer.
Yeah.
Don't watch the trailer.
Okay.
Anna is really good right now for sure.
Yes.
It's the problem is that I'm gonna go to what Seagull said. I'm seeing a lot of variations of different support comps right now in ranked. And this is why it's also difficult a week into the season too. I'm seeing so many different variations of comps right now that Anna's always been consistently good in those comps. But I've also seen other comps where I don't know. It's tough. We'll go back to that later. Mercy. Got 3 great ones in a row.
This
here.
is hard,
Interesting
dude.
one.
They're so
We've
balanced.
had the Mercy change going into the season 3.
Okay, even with the change, she still has some movement.
Yes.
Mhm.
But she's tankier now, actually. Just
She's
scary.
easier to kill, though.
Easier to hit. I don't know if I'd say kill.
I think she's easier to kill.
How so?
Because most of the time, if you're going to be diving a Mercy, you're catching her after she already shifted to someone. And so I think it's definitely nerfed compared to where she was before. I think she just straight up dies more often than she used to. But I don't it's hard though, because she can hard pocket people. And so it's, even in Valkyrie is now almost like a mini trance, right? Where if she pops Valkyrie, it doesn't feel like you can really easily kill anyone if they're deathballed.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like you said, God, support ranks are hard.
Yeah, they are.
Does the crit healing apply to Valk?
All right, that's it. Do I redo the tier list in my head?
The 30% does.
You can tank if in the right
it's
scenario.
so hard to,
if they're all
but
set.
for your average player, it's
So-
not S.
Yeah,
Oh,
so it's still 30%.
self-healing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Because the crit healing for just pocketing a burst DPS, it did get stronger.
Yep.
Undoubtedly.
Mhm.
Average player tier list. I think
Even
it's
said earlier,
mean,
Winton actually cannot kill someone if Mercy is just stuck on him.
Yes, it's infuriating.
The health trends upward.
yes.
Even
Well, then-
Primal. Even Primal,
Yeah.
you actually can't really kill anything. Like, if she Valks, it's actually impossible.
I feel like I'm noticing a
To kill
consistent
anyone
trend here
else.
with this tier list right now.
Yeah, that all the supports are ridiculously well balanced and nothing is really set. I think It's gonna be interesting.
I don't think
That's how I'm doing it.
Mercy has the same undo button as Kiriko does. And for that, I would put her in A. Even though res is a nice undo button, you don't get to res it that often in games other than like an opening pick. Like mid fight, it's very dangerous to go for res. I think that even though Mercy is still really, really strong, I'd put her in the A tier. And because I don't think that undo button is as strong. Even though she's like tankier and stuff, and the healing stronger.
Mm-hmm.
I would put her along the lines of like Ana. So
yep. In my head, I can't, when I think of, Mercy's having a big impact and stuff like that, Ana has a lot more clutch with nades, especially with her damage and everything else. And she can 2-tap Tracer now, which is like super nice, especially when Tracer is so prevalent in dive and everything. I think Mercy is right behind her though, in terms of being able to pocket people, keep them alive, kind of stay alive. Valkyrie is insane healing up, but like, I don't know. I don't think she's, and also having a res on a lot of sniper maps is just so convenient and actually saves you so much time.
Yep.
So I put her next to Ana.
Yeah, I think A tier is perfectly fine. I think it's been interesting to see that we had 3 in a row that we, as of right now, it could change, but like
I'm still going back and forth Zen S or A, and I know it's tough. It's safe. The safer pick is definitely A with Zenyatta. But yeah, I'm all over the place, man.
Yep. Oh yeah, 100%. All right, you know what? Now we're going into a hero that. Good way to explain this hero is this hero might be in your backline or healing. We're gonna go with Moira here. Might be in the other team's backline. That is. Where do we put Moira across all ranks?
She's so good when you give up.
Okay, but it's hard because at low ranks, I think she's good, and she's like the I'm dying a lot, and I don't want to die anymore.
Yep.
Which is good with when ball and dive is meta, right? Like in some ways.
A lot of the time, I mean, especially if you're like an average gamer, you don't want to rely on your team anymore, and you get tired of them.
This is a toughie still, even with Moira.
I'm keeping it true to myself.
Yeah, you going S tier?
Yeah, I'm putting her in B.
Yeah, I was gonna say I agree with that. I don't think I put Moira on the same caliber as Ana, Zen, Mercy, so she has to go to B.
Yeah, even
though she's still really good.
Yeah, I think B tier is probably fine. I think like if we were doing each rank specifically, there'd be probably tier lists for Moira as an S tier. I'm not even kidding you. Mm-hmm. Like straight up, if we just did like we're doing the bronze only one right now, etc. Like Moira would be way higher up on that list. So
yeah, I mean, you could theoretically do it. Just start pushing these A tiers to S tier, and then Moira would become A tier. Like I'd be totally fine to do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with B tier. I'm fine with B tier.
God, you actually made me question. Whenever we get to Kiriko, I might actually do that. I might. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
All right, we have another hero that is used a bit here. And also pretty good, Lucio.
He's just good. He's not overpowered. It's so balanced.
Great with Ryan. Ryan Tyrant.
Yep, good with Ryan, and Ryan is A/S, so Lucio's there.
Okay. I actually don't mind Lucio in A tier. That's also just because like there's certain team comps I like playing having a Lucio. Yeah, I imagine Lucio's probably A or B tier.
I put him in low A. I think he's good.
Yeah, I think A tier. That's all right. I'll go with A tier too. I like that one. That was a quick one because we've gone really in depth with each support. So
well, I mean, Lucio's he gets beat faster, right?
Yeah. Yes, which is always good.
I mean, the hard thing is like when I compare him to all the other supports in my head, Lucio enables Ryan. So if Ryan is good, and I think Ryan is S tier for most players, then he's naturally picked and is good. Lucio, I don't think is ever bad. Like, is there ever a world where you go, oh no, we have a Lucio, yeah, well, GG guys.
Do more damage. What are you doing?
Overwatch 1.
Okay, Overwatch. Okay. Yeah. And in Overwatch 2 so far.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so because of that, I'm like, I think he's up there. I think he's pretty good.
Well, we have Ryan and Ramatra both in A tier right now, and obviously in certain ranks S tier for Ryan. But Lucio synergizes so well with that comp.
Yep. So I'm putting him in A. Yep.
So, all right, I'm gonna go out of order of what I have here next. It's just because BAP.
B.
I think BAP's A.
Nope.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna let them
My
go.
gut says A, but personally, I'm putting him S.
I can't do it.
Yeah, BAP.
He's
Purely because of the
so
burst
good.
healing from regenerative burst.
Yep, it's very
In
nice.
fact, they can
Kinda
just
has two
AoE
life.
give everyone plus 100 if they're critical.
Mm-hmm.
That is insane.
Have you had a DPS BAP in your team yet?
Yeah, me.
Yeah, and you see how I've seen BAPs do like 12,000 damage and like 15,000 healing, and I it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, especially on maps like Junkertown.
Yep,
Yep.
BAP can actually dominate some games, and I think with some of the heroes being played now, like BAP isn't too bad. And this goes to like we talked about with supports. It feels like I've seen so many support variations now in my rank games that I have no problem putting BAP in A tier here,
Yep.
like at all.
I am personally putting him in B tier because I think
That's
he's
fine.
hard to play.
Fair enough.
And
Mhm.
when I think of supports that are taking over games, it is very rare to see a BAP take over a game. Compared to like a Zen popping off or like an Ana Mercy that are just really annoying and stuff like that. I don't know. I think BAP's good on a lot of maps, especially if the BAP is good, but they're so rare. It feels to me almost like as rare as like an extremely, extremely good ball player. And most people, I think, would just be better off not picking BAP and just picking Ana.
Well, if you, I hear you, but I almost wonder then if Ryan, for most people, they're not going to be able to play that to that level. But if you're playing Rhine comps, right? If they're playing Rhine comps, BAP, BAP's healing, like being able to run with the Rhine the entire time and not be afraid, and the AOE heals, like I feel like it's like the synergy there is so good that I feel like I'd have to put him in A. You know, even though he's not going to get like, you know, like most players aren't going to understand how to do DPS and healing it the same way. But just because like the comps that are being played, I'm surprised you have him in B.
I think it's just one of those things where I think he's A, but compared to every other support, I think it's hard. It's hard because everything's so close.
Yep.
Everything's very scrunched towards A on my
Do you think
end.
Moira, BAP are both B? Do you think this is the same character? Like
I did. That's what I put them both as, yeah.
Really? Okay.
But also that there's not much of a difference here between A and B. So
I exactly. It's very much like I'm pretty biased this one. I've had a couple BAPs in my team, who just it's been ridiculous, and this is probably where I'm more biased with like A tier. I've had games where like they will have, like I said, 12,000 damage, and they absolutely dominate. We'll like be down 2v5, they'll be on the flank, and they'll just kill 3.
Yep.
So mine's more of a bias pick in A tier. I totally can see the B tier too. 100%. But I'm okay with A tier here, just because now I have 5 supports in A tier and I'm just vibing out. So next hero is an interesting one because we're talking about synergy and team comps. Brig, who I want to point something out about Brig so far.
A, not even close.
I absolutely love the armor pack buff.
It's nice.
It makes Brig just play so much better to me.
Yes.
And allows for like a bit more of like a fun play style. That I like the changes they made to Brig, and I'm very curious to see what the ultimate change is going to be eventually too, because then Brig's going to become like a really good hero. So I don't know. Is it weird that I have Brig like in A tier too, or B tier, but probably A tier?
I
don't
know if I put her in S. I definitely put her in A though.
Not S.
Not S. Yeah.
Already locked in.
Oh, did you say B? I thought you said.
I said A or B.
Oh, yeah. I would definitely put her in A tier.
Yep, I agree. I put Brig in A tier.
I think even though her buff is great, she is still bottom of the list in terms of supports.
Really?
Oh, damn.
Interesting.
Why is that?
Everything Brig can do, other supports do better. With one exception. She has a shield so she can play very selfishly against snipers.
I guess.
We were kind of talking about it ironically earlier. The only time I ever pick Brig is against
That puts
snipers,
Zen up
and
here.
I don't want to get one shot.
Man, that's understandable.
Oh.
I mean, it's actually very understandable on that one.
If you cannot use, because her repair packs are a resource. If you can't feather the resource properly,
We'll readjust
and you
after
can't
Kiriko.
proc Inspire, you're doing nothing. You're not healing anybody. It's one of the issues Moira has at really low ranks. Even though this isn't a really low rank thing, if you run out of the heal juice, you're just sitting there for like 5 to 10 seconds doing nothing. If you spam all 3 packs and someone is Brig, you just have to wait to heal people. Every other support can heal on demand. The resource management part of Brig is always overlooked, in my opinion.
She's also weird to play. Still, that she's one of the squishiest supports, in my view. Like, she's very easy to punish.
Yes.
So she's a strange one to play, but also, you know, it's like, oh, I have this melee weapon and a shield, but I don't want to go in. It's like, wait, what? It's just a very awkward character,
right now.
unintuitive.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
That's the thing, though, is you're a lot less active in your healing, but there's also advantages to that because there's other things you can be doing a lot of those times. Like Inspire is a passive heal, right? Like you just need to proc it. Like, and it's not terribly difficult to proc. Like a whip shot, a well-placed whip shot is going to proc it every time. And then you basically can just kind of AFK. Like you can kind of shield around a corner. And a lot of times the way like the Brig Zen and stuff was always played was like you're basically looking for flankers. You're trying to keep your Zen alive. And I think with the repair pack boost is going to like save your Zen more times now, because when they go for the pile drive, slam, the tracers come flying in, you can throw 1 or 2 packs at them, and that burst healing is going to help a ton to keep them alive, you know? But yeah, it's one of those things that most players, I don't understand how to play Brig because they don't know how big Inspire is. Inspire is so big that if you're playing Ilios well, you pretty much can take up the entire control point. Like the whole well is your healing, while Lucio is like what people think of it is like, oh, it's like Lucio healing. No,
like
Lucio
double.
healing is like it's like double it. And so you can basically just AFK on Brig. And most of the really good Brig players do other stuff, you know, like they're not looking to just like, you know, whip shot and do damage. They're looking to track ults. They're looking to protect for flankers. They're doing a much more active role that's not mechanical, I feel like. You know what I mean? But most Brig players or most ranks are going to think, I have shield, I have mace, I hold W like I'm playing support Reinhardt, you know? We had the problem in Overwatch 1 where everyone thought, like most like low rank players didn't know how to play Brig and they thought Brig was terrible, but
to be fair, when she came out, that's how you're supposed to play her. Just WM1.
She was that overpowered. Yeah, she could just run at you and you would die.
God. Scary days.
But those were scary days. So, I mean, she's an interesting one still to me because I think she's really good. I think Brig is amazing right now. So I can't put her anywhere but A tier. I don't think she's a step above anyone else. It's hard to say because they're all so close to each other, but I think she's A tier.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Brig's just so good at like making some heroes tankier now. And I think that with Brig just getting better and better, and even back last season, remember how you talking about Brig was underrated flats? I mean, Brig's only gotten better since. So like A tier is where I'm going to put Brig. I see so many Brigs being played now, and like with Cassidy being A tier now, and Brig's be able to just keep Cassidy up. You know, the Brig working with
this
pretty much
is
any
so
of the
awkward,
support lines
man.
actually work now. Believe it or not, I've been winning games with Brig Lucio, which it was a comp during the beta, but like it plays differently now. But I'm still winning comps with Brig Lucio, like because Brig is just keeping the other support alive or a DPS alive if they play that defensive play style. And I put Brig in A tier because of that.
Agreed.
Which leaves one last hero on this tier list, Kiriko. Kiriko. We've seen Kiriko dominating since the beginning of Overwatch 2. Where do we have Kiriko now?
You know where.
C tier also?
And I know what I'm going to make some adjustments at the end of this.
D tier, actually.
Okay. Our first D tier?
She needs mega buffs.
Yeah.
An F.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that. I'm going to go with, you know what? This is a toughie.
This is very toughy.
This is a tough. I know it. The easy answer seems like S tier, right?
Yeah, go for it. Keep going.
There's just a lot. The comps have changed a lot.
Yes.
So like, I'm not even seeing that much Kiriko in the ball comps anymore.
Nope, you
So,
don't.
like,
I don't think
I
Kiriko's
still
that
think
good.
Kiriko's really good.
She's
but
not in the current comps. She doesn't
Have we
fit.
got to the point where Kiriko is a must pick?
She is
on your team
good,
now?
but it doesn't fit. That's why I'm like
I do
low
not
A.
think she's a must pick.
Is Widow a must
Partially
pick?
because of ball.
I mean, Widow can be a must pick. Yes.
So can Kiriko.
Yeah, but
The question was, is she a must pick? If it's can be, then yes. That's
is
S tier.
she? Is she the absolute you need to pick a Kiriko to win the game?
Nope.
Well,
Or
neither
if
is
you
Widow.
have a Kiriko, excuse me, if you have a Kiriko on your team, is it easier to win?
I wouldn't say Widow is that either. On some maps and some situations, absolutely though.
Okay. So do we have Kiriko in S tier or A tier?
I'm S tier.
You're S tier, okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing it.
Her rush is too good. Her ult's too good.
But if I put Zen in
healing's
S tier,
really
then I
good.
have to move back
Her
to A.
ability to
And I'm
fight
like,
off
I
flanker
can't- but-
slash deal damage and like
Ah.
not just be the helpless support. Like her teleport to get away. Like if she's isolated and balls coming to come slam her, she just disappears, gone. Tracer's really good. She's one of the supports that can really fight back
I'll have
against
to think
Tracer.
about it.
It's a headshot melee. I mean, if you get they're close enough for the melee, obviously, but
Yeah.
2 shots, body shot, headshot, you're gonna get her every time. So there's counterplay there that other characters might not have. The Suzu speaks for itself. I think her kit is just so strong that, you know, for example, Ana is so good. Like Ana's nade
I'm all
and
over
sleep
the
dart.
place. I can't
I think
decide.
Ana can really lose to ball. Like if you have a real
Oh, we're still
really
talking
good
Kiriko.
ball players, you know.
Mhm.
But if you're playing against a good Ana and you don't have a Kiriko, you can lose a lot of those games. Kiriko just shuts that down. Kiriko shuts down half the roster stuff, you know? I feel like you just can't say she's not S tier, you know?
So I said she wasn't a must pick, but I will say I did rate her as the highest support anyway.
So you're saying like there's no S tier support? They're just like the best A tier?
This is an odd take. I put Kiriko, Ana, and Bap in S, but that's because I play support. So I'm very intimately familiar with those three, and they have a lot of value. It's my version of Seagull's hot take. I think he put Zen in S.
Right now, I'm looking at putting Zen in S. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I just the more I play and I look at this list, I'm like the thing the one that sticks out to me is I see Zen in almost every game, and I think he's just really good. And when I think Kiriko, yeah, Kiriko's annoying and she is really effective, but I don't think she fits in a lot of stuff that's happening right now because it's a lot of dives, so people aren't that clumps. You don't see as many Anas. So Kiriko's cleanse value, like, you know, the giant 5, you know, death ball AoE grenade hits aren't as common. You don't need the giant cleanse. I don't know. It's just hard. Like Suzu is still so ridiculously good though for saving people, but is Suzu in playing around it, like, just to give you an idea, I guess, do you think Kiriko or Brig is better at peeling for your other support during a dive meta? Like, which one is easier?
Which one is easier? Brig. What's more impactful? Kiriko.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think Brig just instinctively would know to peel more often than a Kiriko. Theoretically, Kiriko can just TP to peel from anywhere. It's just a matter of does she know or does she notice?
The problem I have is I think it's too easy. I think as people get really good, it gets too easy to play around Suzu. And then it lacks the consistency a lot of the time, but it's hard to say.
What about her ult though? Her ult is arguably the best ult in the game.
I know. I don't
She
think
just says too many things.
it does, but I don't think it puts her above most of the others in my book.
Fair.
Like, not enough to put her in a different tier.
So Seagull went with what, A tier?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just grabbed my food.
What did you put yours at, Emon?
I haven't put Kiriko anywhere yet. Ideally, I could just put Kiriko in S tier, and I think that's still a very good pick. But
Mhm.
it just goes down to, like, I've just seen so many variations of team comps now.
I
that,
know,
like, I'm
that's
just, like,
everything.
Like if we just like were rating like ultimates or like abilities, then I'd be like Suzu is by far like one of the best abilities in the game, if not the best ability, right? Like by far, Suzu. So I think the only reason why I'm going with A tier, and it'd probably be as very high A tier as you can be,
Yeah, she's high A tier.
is because I don't know. I guess I've been seeing way more like team comps now.
I know.
Like I don't see.
It's
I
hard.
just don't see Kiriko as much. It doesn't mean Kiriko's not good either. Kiriko's really good. It's just like this is where we'd have like those A plus, like even like S minus type of situations here. But I feel like if you do S tier, you have to be like I'm going with that hero. So I don't know. This is a tough
From a
one.
Widow
for me.
then, because you don't play Widow on every map, every situation.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Flats. I've been playing against so many Widows in ranked.
Yeah.
And like
It's
control
been
maps.
anything. It's been ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. I'm seeing Widow so much. I think the leaderboard even had that too. Just a lot of Widows, a lot of Widow Tracer.
Tracer for sure, for sure.
I'm just gonna have some hot takes. That's all.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I think
Listen.
Zen is the only S tier support.
Okay.
Why?
He's insane. I don't know why. I'm just, from my experience playing and seeing how crazy it is just in the current comps and everything. It's just, it's hard though, because Zen is also one of those characters that's team dependent, right? So like if you're in an average game, he's probably not insane. It requires a lot of peel and a lot of backline coordination, and Kiriko, I have not seen that much impact from Kiriko in comparison to Zen. Like from my own experience playing so far this season, I can't justify Kiriko above Zen. But I don't know if S tier should just be saved for like, you have to run this character, in which case nothing is S tier.
Yeah.
So,
No, it doesn't. I was more curious on that one. Yeah, it doesn't have to be that way.
now it kind of, because it feels like these characters are all so close to each other that it's a little more marginal and you have to define what S tier means to you a little bit. Because I don't think Zen is a must pick at all. But if I look at the DPS lineup in a lot of cases, I do feel like Widow takes over a game in S tier much more than a Zen would take over from S tier in support. So I feel like it's also hard to put anything in S tier for support at all. At least for me. So I don't know.
Like,
I'm bouncing
having
around.
no supports being S. I'd actually.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I'd be willing to put no supports as S, but Kiriko's still the best out of the supports. That's what I could be. That's what I could do. Because I hear you on that. Because like Zen Brig is still like, you know what I mean, like there are comps.
I don't think it's even Zen Brig for your average. I think it's Zen Ana, Zen Mercy, Zen Brig.
The whole thing, like, but again, it's team comp dependent, it's map dependent. There's a lot of other things, and Kiriko, in my opinion, is one of the best supports to pick when you're fighting against a really good Widow. Like you have the tiny hitbox and the 120 headshot across the map with no fall off is a little bit of poke that you might not be able to do on other characters. Even Zen, actually, in some ways, Zen's a bigger hitbox though, so it's a little more spooky. But
yeah,
we've all played Widow before, where the Zen right click volley across the map just clips us and we fall over. So I'd be down to put it in A, but like at the best of A. But you're right though, a lot of these supports are like dead even.
Yeah, it's a toughie, isn't it?
Very
It is tough.
This is very tough because I think you can argue for a lot of things. Like my hottest take is BAP is the worst support.
Whoa.
My hot take is just having
For your
this
average
odd
player,
way.
BAP is your worst support. Like across the whole player base, I think he probably, that's my best guess. Like if I had to choose, if I was blindfolded, like, yo, Seagull, right now, what's the worst support across the entire game? I'm saying BAP.
Wow.
That's kind of what I was thinking about Brig, though.
That's what's great about these tier lists.
I'm more in the Brig camp, actually. I know why you think that. I actually understand why you think that, but I think Brig, just because people fundamentally don't understand how to play Brig, but BAP, they don't have the mechanical skill how to play BAP. Is what you're saying.
BAP is mechanically demanding.
Yes, that's what. So they're not playing BAP effectively, but they can play BAP to like a 50 or 60% and still be okay. Brig, they fundamentally just don't understand. That's how I think of it. That's a spicy one. I like that one. That was good.
Oh, but this is hot
That
take
kinda
central.
scorched me.
Support is the hot take central because all the supports are so close. You can say almost anything. So I,
agree.
as an example, like when I think of all of these, in my mind though, if I'm not allowed to put Zen in S tier in my head because he's still pretty close to everything else, even though it feels like he's kind of taken over upper top 500 and all this other stuff, then that means BAP has to go down. Because it does that same argument I can use myself against BAP and be like, well, most people don't have the mechanics to play BAP. So how can I put him that high up?
Do you want a hot take from me now?
Yeah, you go.
Oh, this is great.
I got you. I actually low-key think Lucio is like not that good
Maybe.
right now.
Well,
I actually no.
damage Lucio.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Lucio right now, he just brings less than every other support because you either want the damage boost or the Mercy that stays alive. You want the Ana with either the sleep dart or the anti-nade. You want the Zen because he does way more damage. The healing is actually not that much more on Lucio versus Zen. The only time you have more healing Lucio than Zen are the heal bot Lucios, and then they're not playing Lucio properly. I cannot tell you how many games I have where I have a Lucio with 3,000 healing and 3,000 damage, but like they have a Zen with like 3,000 healing, 5,000 damage, or they pick Mercy and one of their DPS is stomping us, or they
let's
have Kiriko
order
and they
within
have,
tier.
1,500 damage but 7,500 healing. And it's like Lucio speed boost is not useful right now. It's useful with Rhine, but because you're playing these poke comps and these like evading comps, it's hard to pick something to speed onto unless they pick a non-optimal comp. So like Lucio, to me, I end up actually not wanting a Lucio more times. I'll actually take a double up on either Ana Kiriko or Zen Brig or Mercy Ana or Mercy Kiriko over taking, let's say, Kiriko Lucio, Ana Lucio, BAP Lucio.
It's funny though, because when we talk about a lot of maps though, the speed's pretty good on control and push.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny to talk about all these maps. I agree that Lucio, the reason I still have him in A tier though is because of his synergy with Rhine and Ramatra.
Yes,
it's like
agreed.
the idea that he's good for a lot of the tanks, and he's like has such good synergy with them that even if it kind of feels like what you're saying is if you don't have a Rhine or a Ramatra, just don't play Lucio, is what you're kind of saying, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I think what I like about the game now in general, or is getting better, is just a lot more like variety of comps you can run. Even though there's obviously like some dominant comps, like I think this is one of the we're starting to see way like more just variety of comps that you can play, or even like just support. It's cool to see support have like this variation of like just being in this tier. I mean, it's really cool to see that. Like I'm enjoying seeing a variety of heroes. Also on top of that, I'm hungry, so I'm gonna be hopping off.
Well, you don't get another hour in you?
Oh yeah, how long you been going now, Emung? When did you wake up?
I've been on for a while.
Oh my god. I looked. Don't look.
So I'm getting hungry, so I'm gonna hop off and go eat. This was awesome though, seriously. And obviously y'all can keep going on about the stuff, but this was a ton of fun. Thank you for doing this. This turned into the most.
You're leaving. We can't keep going. We have to end it.
Well, okay then.
I know, this is it.
Was this the first like Tank Q podcast?
Tank You podcast.
Thank you, podcast.
Wait, I'm on a what?
Yeah, you want to be a podcast now, I guess?
First guest.
Yeah, first guest. Yeah.
But seriously, that was a ton
right
of fun.
over there.
So,
oh man,
I'm gonna hop off. I'm hungry. Thanks for doing that. That was a ton of fun. Seriously.
I mean, realistically, chat, if we just go up one,
if it's good enough,
it's debatable.
Like if it's enough. To
this is what I would say is in top 500.
We can look at our tier list and adjust it based off of mid season.
Yep.
No, we gotta do a whole new one.
Yeah, no.
Why not?
Well, we could. I mean, if you want to do it, if you want to do it for 2 hours again, actually, it looks like looking at the recording now, this was 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Awesome.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, sounds good to me too.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna hop off. Have a good night, everybody. I will see you all later.
Later,
All
dude.
right. Later,
See ya.
dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, later.
This is our tier list.
Yeah,
So.
these tier lists are hard because I'm still sitting here, man, by the way, and I'm like, Zen is just too good. He does feel better than everyone else, though. So how can I justify putting him in A, but he's not a whole tier above, he's just a little bit. It's like, I hate it, dude. It's too much balance.
You tell me though, because I have a deep-seated hatred for Zen. Everybody knows it. Everyone just groans and goes, "Oh, here goes Flatspot Discord orb again." So like, I can't be the one to say S. If you go all in and you say Zen is S and you move it there, I will follow you. I will join you. I will
Coward.
join you in the S tier. No, hey, otherwise I can't do it first because it's like biased tank player. You just don't like Discord.
yeah,
Orb.
okay.
You know, yeah, it's everything under the sun.
I main support Discord Orb is cracked. It always has been. There, I said it.
Yeah, but we all know that. But anyway, I'm not going to go back because otherwise I have to put BAP from B to A. And you know what? I just got to commit. I got to commit to the hot take that if Zen can't be S tier, then BAP can't be A tier. Because that means, I'm rounding each of them down by 1 tier because I think they're both like hard to play for your average player or just average team coordination at like gold plat.
So you put a Discord Orb on their rating.
Yes.
Damn.
That's where I'm at.
Tough.
Have you been playing a lot of Zen?
This is an insane rule. How is it an insane rule? Okay, if we're talking just for my own experience.
Seagull.
Okay, wait, go ahead.
Have you been playing a lot of Zen this season?
That's the only thing I play he owns.
Okay, how effective do you think it is that you can ping people through walls if there's an orb on them?
It's actually really nice for Spall. Because the ball rolls away and you just know exactly where he is, or the tracer for a second. It's just really, really nice.
Yeah, you can just give your team walls on whoever you have discorded. It's a very niche thing about Zen a lot of people don't do.
Rework Discord Orb. Time.
Didn't it used to be 50% in the Overwatch beta?
Oh yeah, like 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was 30%
we're leaving it.
during GOATs.
We're leaving it like this.
In roll queue.
I can't justify it, but if you made me pick one character to go S tier out of all this, it would be
What do
Zen.
you think the threshold is? What's a good percentage to knock off?
Real talk?
I'm ready. I'm ready for the real talk.
15% maximum.
What?
I think 15% is even high.
That would adjust some breakpoints, I think.
Yeah, I think 15% is the highest I'd be willing to go because it's an ability that you just leave on them and that's it. It's not even. It's like barely.
Go look at top 500. It's all gonna be Zen.
The only other thing I could
okay, I'm gonna go in game right now and look at support.
Like a scaling thing where like depending on either how much health you had, which is like the only way I could think they could do it. So like some squishier tanks don't get rolled, but some beefier tanks maybe take a little bit more or something, or like maybe vice versa. Like, you know, like tanks take 15%, but on DPS it still says 25.
Look at Zen. How they he's everywhere.
Because of the way the tank roll works, and you just always are front
and some Briggs and some Annas,
basically keeping their tank in check. A 25% debuff just for standing there is just it's ridiculous.
It's a lot of Brig. Decent amount of BAP. Is this like the first Mercy? Mercy doesn't seem very good.
So people
look in Asia. Asia's always more metagaming than others,
right? They're like, you know, Zen's a fun character to
play.
Lucio? So people get upset when you say like this character's too
Ana.
strong.
Ana's everywhere in Asia.
Like, no, don't touch Zen.
Ana Zen. That's what I.
What makes Zen fun is not Discord Orb. What makes Zen fun is like, you know,
Zen Ana, Zen Ana,
Zen Ana, the
it's
DPS support, the kick,
how much Brig,
you know, like the glass cannon of him. I think you can still keep that without making a literal debuff ability for playing tank. You know, I don't know how they could, but something.
Do they not play BAP?
If you took away the
in Asia
Discord Orb debuff and you buffed his base damage, that would help for the tank, but not for anyone else in the game because then they would also be taking
crazy.
More damage.
Yeah, no, I think.
I feel like the fun part of Zen is just lacing someone in the head with your primary fire or even your secondary fire. Discord Orb just makes that just a guaranteed kill.
God, there's so dude. I'm just looking down the leaderboard. By the way, there are so many, but it's usually Ana and Zen. I think are the most popular. But then after that, it's a lot of stuff. Like NA plays a lot of Brig, but other regions don't. Asia does not play BAP at all.
Interesting.
Yeah, like it's really all over the place still. Like all around every region is a little bit crazy. It just feels random. The only thing that's consistent, not many Mercies that are high rank.
In an NA or other places?
Both.
Oh.
Like every region. There's just not as many.
Honestly good. She should be great for the lower half of the ladder.
There's still what I mean is like I still see like 3 or 4 in like top 30. And I don't see that many Moiras. I see more Mercies than Moiras, though. So few Brigs. You're biased. Wait, how am I biased? We're counting who's the most played. Yeah, there's a decent amount of Lucio, yeah. But that's also a fun thing. Like the Lucio mains who always play Lucio, do they ever stop playing Lucio?
Probably not. All right, are we satisfied with this list? Are we good?
Yeah, I called it already for me, but I think they're all very, very close in balance overall. But to give you an idea of how uncommon BAP is, and I feel so much more comfortable saying BAP is the worst support. Holy shit. There is only one BAP most played, I think, in all of Asia top 500.
They don't play dive, though. You know, and dive.
Wait, what do you mean Asia? Yeah, they only play dive.
Oh, sorry,
right.
Sorry, I got that.
Yeah, you said it backwards.
Yeah, BAP isn't good with dive, and they play dive. So it's
dude. There's I've only seen one. There's just none as most played. It's crazy. And yeah, you're probably right. That's also probably why they're playing a lot of Anazen.
Yeah.
And Kiriko Brig, like those four, and Lucio in round.
Interesting.
Just two. Dude, I got to like 400 spamming scroll, and I've seen like two BAPs.
That's kind of surprising, but at the same time, I don't know.
Yeah, but the one that was up there was like top 10. So it's like obviously it can't be that bad if you're top 10 with it, but so it's kind of just telling you like, yeah, everything is pretty good right now.
So now that I'm
you scrolled past like 10.
Are we thinking
most
Moira
played
left
column only, left column only chat.
Like...
If you don't know.
DPS Moira, yeah, not healing Moira.
So we can do that.
DPS Moira.
So S tier. So Moira's S tier no matter what.
DPS Moira.
Wait, what are you looking at?
Seagull's tier list.
Yeah, you're looking at mine?
Moira? Yeah, Moira.
My Moira is B tier.
Yeah, but it could be S tier if we're thinking DPS here.
Oh, yeah. DPS Moira? I don't remember. Yeah. I have to pull up my DPS list. I would give her a solid A tier.
Yep, at least.
Yep, A tier.
That's
A tier.
Low.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, well, if everyone else is getting food, I guess I'm hopping off to get some food too. I appreciate doing the tier list. This is a good time. I had a lot of fun doing this. This is sick.
Yeah, we gotta do the thank you.
You guys want to catch up again on the in about 1 month?
Yeah, I'm in.
You can do the launch impressions, mid season, end of season.
Yep.
I'll try to get Ramatra unlocked by then.
Yeah, there you go.
Craig said in my chat, don't get the metal rank players going with Moira. It's driving me crazy already.
Or Craig, dude.
Oh, man. All right, I'm going to go get food and stuff as well, so I'm going to wind down.
All right. Later, gamer.
See ya.
See you later.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, it was great having you.
Absolutely.